Classic Metal Show.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is our good friend from Red Rain, Sammy Lee and the boys. And that EP everybody's been waiting for, it has now become available as of yesterday.
I have mine right here.
So, yep. So the EP is available for download, and they are working on making the physical copies of the CD available as well.
So what's available?
The downloads.
Okay. Well, we have physical copies.
Yeah, because those were just the promos.
Oh, so that's not what it's really going to look like?
Well, it might, but those are the ones that they were shopping around to labels and, various outlets.
As I said, these look pretty good.
That obviously we got a physical copy, but right now for the fans, the downloads, the download of the CD is available, and the physical copies will probably be available in a week or two.
Right. Well, good, because has it grown on you at all, like from the originals to this?
I like the rawness of the original, but I like the production of the new one.
Okay.
It's kind of like a split.
Mm-hmm.
I like the tempo of the original.
Yeah.
But I like the production of the new one.
Like the clean.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So it just depends. I mean, I like them both.
Okay.
But I think that they think they did a great job on the production. Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. I mean, fans seem to like that song, and I think that because of the CMS, it gained a fan base somewhat.
Well, that's definitely the keeper song.
It is.
That's the one that's going to either break them or not.
I agree.
But hey, I wish the band well. I mean, Sammy's obviously been great to me. As far as doing up the shirts and shit for my pinball plays.
And I just ordered up a bunch of new shirts for the CMS as well. And, our good friends like Jay Lee Anthony, he finally got his shirt after a couple of months of waiting and whatnot. But, Sammy's been great. And they got to open up for, get this, they got to open up for Lita Ford last night.
Ooh. Did they get to motorboat her?
He did. They got to talk to Lita.
But not motorboat?
Lita isn't really all that busty.
Yeah, but still Lita.
It is Lita. She's a small girl.
Mm-hmm.
But, they got to open up for her last night, which they were pretty thrilled about, opening up for a headliner. So,
wow.
Good things to come. It's not the biggest gig in the world, but at least it's something.
Would you lick Lita's sweaty tits?
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd lick
She
Lita's.
comes right off stage. She's not going to fuck you or nothing.
Yeah, would I lick her sweaty tits?
Yeah, she comes.
It's Lita. Yeah, of course.
Not even a thought. You just be like.
When faced with the challenge of.
What the hell was that?
That's you, not me.
I know, that's just me.
Huh?
That was me.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm not touching anything.
Yep, that was me.
Yeah, I probably would too. Of course I would. Who am I kidding?
Sure.
I'd lick Lita's mom's sweaty tits for.
Nice.
I'm just a horny fuck.
Sure. All right, we got an hour and 35 minutes.
All right, let's talk about Rat for all that time.
Now, I actually have a reoccurring story coming your way.
Okay.
And you've also submitted some stuff this week.
Yes.
But I thought people would enjoy getting an update on one of the most popular stories of 2016.
Okay.
Would you happen to have a guess what it might be?
I got to start with the Bay Boys.
Ding, ding, ding. You are absolutely correct, sir.
The Bay Boys are back, huh?
The Bay Boys are back. There is an update.
All right.
A fort built by accused Lunata Bay surf bullies has been demolished.
Oh, boo! They demolished the fort?
They did.
That sucks.
It's been demolished.
Boo!
But the question remains, will it end their reign of terror and their localism?
Their reign of terror.
Their reign of terror.
You stop it, you overexcited douchebag journalist. Jesus. Reign of terror.
Yep.
Okay.
At least some spectators gazing from the bluffs of Palos Verdes estate hope that the metallic rap of the jackhammers rising from Lunata Bay this week sounded the end of an era.
Jesus Christ. I wouldn't let this guy fucking proofread one of my books. What a douchey bunch of words that was he threw all at the paper at once. It's like he just reached in, tore a fucking pages out of a book, out of a dictionary, and threw it at his typewriter. That's horrible.
The jackhammer, it sounded the death knell.
Whatever.
For decades, outsiders have complained that they were harassed and their vehicles were vandalized by a crew of surfers determined to keep the bay's well-shaped waves to themselves.
Yeah, man!
Look at Nathan. He's got a picture of the of the fort.
The former fort.
Yeah, that's it. It's been destroyed, Nathan.
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's been taken down. On Thursday, after months of pressure on the city by the California Coastal Commission, a wrecking crew finished dismantling the stone fort the surfers, dubbed by some as the Bay Boys, had built without permits on the rocky shore.
Oh, horrors.
This is great, said the veteran surfer from Monondo Beach, who did not want to be identified out of fear of reprisal.
Jesus. How about this? Just stay away from the beach.
No, he wants to surf there, man.
Yeah. If you're worried about getting your ass beat, just stay away from the beach.
No, he wants to surf there. He wants to surf there without getting his ass beat.
Well, that's not an option. I'm going to throw some dirt clods at this fucking guy.
I've had rocks thrown at me and been intimidated twice. I've never surfed the bay because of it.
Good, fag.
I never realized my dream. He didn't say that. I was just throwing that in.
I was going to say, if that's his dream, he needs to get taken out into the surf and pulled under.
Sure.
Fag.
But if tearing down the fort was meant as a sign that the authorities have finally lost patience with the bullying known as localism, that was diminished by the fact that someone sneaked in one night and damaged the workers' trucks and set fire to their air compressor.
Jesus. Sounds like a fucking episode of Beach Sons of Anarchy.
It's the war zone over there, man.
Man.
Keep up the fight.
Instead of a motorcycle club, it's a surfing club.
It is.
These guys come in on surfboards and fuck you up.
Yeah, we mean business, pal.
Yeah, man.
Don't fuck with our beach.
Yeah, here comes the Niners.
Yeah, we'll set your air compressor on fire.
Yeah, pal.
Nathan's got it right in the chat room. Those guys are fags.
Exactly.
Palos Verdes estate officials, whom have criticized for failing to take effective action against the territorial surfers, are investigating the vandalism. They said that tearing down the structure that served as sort of a clubhouse for the surfers is just one step in addressing the hostility toward outsiders. You don't belong here, man.
Where's the BBLM when you need them? Bay Boys Lives Matter.
Right.
Where are they at?
I still think that you and Bob and Toby need to go down there.
Oh, you just go and see what's up?
It's like we're down here to interview the Bay Boys.
I would.
I know you would.
I wouldn't be afraid. Wear a helmet so I don't get hit in the head with a rock or a dirt clod.
A dirt clod.
And I'd be like, hey, guys, don't call me a kook. I'm just here to get your side of the story.
Right. Critics say the action comes only after the Coastal Commission intervened and told the city to increase public access to the beach.
Right.
It also coincides with the two lawsuits accusing the surfers of bombarding outsiders with rocks, slashing their tires, and assaulting them in the water, or along the treacherous paths that lead down to the beach. The cases also accuse the city of failing to do what's necessary to stop the intimidation.
Do you think these are young guys or old guys?
No, they're old guys. They're middle age.
They're all like in their 50s?
Yeah, they're about our age.
And they're throwing fucking rocks?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Get out of here.
Yeah, pal, kook.
Get out.
Yeah, fucking kooks.
We are making progress toward resolving a problem, city manager Anton Delabruch said.
All right.
We are confident that the measures we are taking will positively improve the public's enjoyment of the bay. He said the city has increased the police patrols and plans to monitor surf reports during the winter wave season and assign more officers as needed.
Nice.
So they got like armed guards down there now.
Leading to the beach.
Right. If a proposed contract is approved with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, deputies will still monitor the bay when local authorities are unavailable.
Okay, well.
Localism, a territorial practice of excluding outsiders, has probably been a part of the surfing since the first time two people tried to catch the same wave. As Southern California population grew, so did the aggression of surfers at some notorious breaks, such as Wind and Sea in San Diego and Hollywood by the Sea in Oxnard.
How many of these Bay Boys are there?
Well, the ones we're talking about are just in Palos Verdes.
Well, I know, but I mean, how many do you think are right there? 10?
Hard to say. I don't know how many belong to the Bay Boys.
I mean, that the cops can't end this? I mean, what, they got a fucking army? 300?
They do. That's what that movie was about, the 300.
It was about the Bay Boys?
It was about the Bay Boys. Instead of spears, they had surfboards.
Look at that meme. Jesus fucking Christ. Get AAR rocks.
But I know one of them is Bobby Blotzer.
This show. It always happens when we miss one. When we have a bad one, we come back and it just goes off the rails.
Everybody gets their batteries recharged.
Holy smokes, that's funny.
That is funny.
All right, continue.
Bastard Bobby Blotzer, he's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
He probably sharpened the end of his surfboard.
Yeah, not the Bay Boys, the Blotz Boys.
Right. The Blotz Boys.
That could be the group, too, instead of the Beach Boys.
Exactly. This is sort of the thing that has been absorbed by extreme numbers in the water, he says. It's real anachronism to be in the heart of Los Angeles and have a group assume any sort of ownership over a surf spot. But Lunata Bay, which has long had a reputation for the worst localism on the coast, is still seen by many as a dangerous place where well-to-do bullies with a sense of entitlement use threats and violence to lord over a slice of coast as if it was theirs and theirs alone.
I wonder if they would allow us to be part of their protest. Like, could we become Bay Boys?
Could we be honorary Bay Boys?
I'd like to stand with the Bay Boys.
Yeah.
against the man.
Yeah.
I would.
There is no place like Lunata Bay, said Steve Hawk, a former editor of Surfer magazine who was confronted himself by a group of locals at the top of the bluff after surfing the break. This is not private land or a private beach, he said. The public has a right to be there. Imagine if a bunch of African Americans from South Central Los Angeles did something like this at Lunata Bay. How would the city of Palos Verdes estate react? The city has given the Bay Boys a pass for decades. Well, for number one, knowing what I know about Palos Verdes, no African American could afford to live there.
Are you saying no African Americans can make money?
I didn't say that. I said they could afford to live there. Number two, African Americans can't swim.
Who's this? All right, I am stepping way the fuck away from these comments here. This is just insensitive.
So that would just be a moot point.
I'm sure we could find an African American that can swim.
They can't, but they call him Bob. After his bloated corpse washes up on the beach.
All right. Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Note that was Neely that was making these aspersions here. Since I always get called the racist of the show, let me be clear that those comments came from Neely.
The Coastal Commission, which eventually stepped in to make sure that the public can go to the public beach, has been in discussion with the city officials off and on since January. Though the powerful land use agency supports the increased police patrols, its correspondence with the city shows continuing concern that Palos Verdes Estate has not implemented the commission's recommendations to enhance access by improving trails to the beach and adding benches, signs, and viewing areas on the bluff.
All right, did somebody really post in here Obama lifeboat wanted? What the fuck? Look at that hashtag. Right. Are you kidding me? Not even going to read that. Oh, my God.
Carolina, holy shit.
Not saying it's untrue. I'm just saying that's quite a hashtag.
I'll tell you.
Holy cow.
How does that trend on Twitter?
I think there's probably no black people in Cuba when you say, or should I say not anymore?
Right. Their surf guide, the Blotz Boys.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Wow. Look at that distended belly.
Everybody's going Blotzing.
Right.
Blotzing USA.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Wow.
This show is fucking completely, this is like a train running through a town.
Yeah.
Just killing everything in sight tonight. What the fuck?
Too good. The Bay Blotz Boys.
If you're not in the chat room tonight, I have to think that this is one of the funniest shows of the entire year.
Sure.
Stink on the podcast.
Right.
It is going to have
this is one of those interactive shows.
This is a very visual show tonight. Holy shit. God damn it, that's funny. was just Blotzer running down the beach.
Yeah. All right. In a letter sent to the commission in October, Delabruch, the city manager, said the city opposes the recommendations because it wants to maintain its coastal bluffs and beaches in a pristine natural state. He added that his stepped-up police presence has been effective and demonstrated by the lack of significant incidences.
Well, that's good.
But 2 pending lawsuits in federal and state courts challenge the city's commitment to solving the problem. There's lawsuits involved.
What the fuck, Carolina? Had to prove Neely wrong, didn't you? Get her go.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Ride that wave.
Holy smokes. Ooh.
The suits, which name Palos Verdes Estates Police Chief Jeff Kepley and 10 individuals as defendants, allege that the intimidation of outsiders has persisted for years despite the city's efforts.
Okay.
El Segundo police officer Corey Spencer, Diana Millennia, and the Coastal Protection Rangers Incorporated. Protection Rangers?
Protection Rangers.
A small nonprofit organization brought the cases earlier this year. A nonprofit organization.
Wow.
They're the Coastal Protection Rangers.
Nonprofit Rangers. The hell?
Spencer said he was harassed repeatedly and run over in the water by a surfer in late January during his first visit to the bay. This is not about money, he said. It's about changing the behavior out there and giving part of the coast back to the public.
Yeah, man.
See, the thing is that, you know, this reminds me of the little strip that is Israel.
Okay.
Nobody cared anything about that little strip of land until the Jewish community moved in and improved it and made it a viable piece of living property.
Okay.
Now the Palestinians want it back.
So you're comparing the Israelites to the Bay Boys?
Yes. The thing is that little piece of coastal beach,
Yeah.
there's hundreds of miles of coastline along the California coast.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you this little piece of coastline isn't even a mile long.
Right.
But because people can't go there or they're intimidated from going there, everybody wants to go there.
Right, of course.
So it's just like, well, we want to be able to go there. And it's like, well, why? There's like hundreds of miles of coastline and you got to have this little piece.
Yeah, of course.
Well, because it's the best piece of all the hundreds of miles. Why shouldn't we be allowed to go there?
Why should they be allowed to be there and not us?
Yeah. You always want something you can't have.
Yep.
This is what it boils down to. It's just like, why do you get that exclusive piece?
Yeah.
What about inclusionism, man? What about diversity, man? Why do you get to have it? You shouldn't be allowed to have that, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll file lawsuits. We'll have law enforcement. We'll have the army down there to keep you guys from keeping us from off the beach.
Get your dirt clods put away, pal. I'm coming surfing.
Yeah, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Fuck no.
I love this. This isn't about money, he said. It's about changing the behavior. Named as defendants are David Malayo, Mark Greep, Sang Lee, Brant Blakeman, Michael Ray Papayans, Angelo Ferrara, Frank Ferrara, not the Guns N' Roses member,
who might be on the show next week.
Yeah, Charlie Ferrara, and one minor. At this time, Alan Johnson is a defendant only in the federal case.
Mm-hmm.
The lawsuit, which claims the Bay Boys amount to a street gang, specifically mentioned 12 alleged incidences in which beachgoers, including the organizers of a surf event to honor the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Who knew Martin Luther King Jr. was a surfer?
Seems like an odd event for an MLK.
Yeah. They were harassed, assaulted, and threatened and intimidated.
Okay.
Probably because they were niggers.
Jesus.
Not because they were...
Jesus. All right. Thank you so much for listening tonight, folks. I'm out of here. It's all I can take.
Right. Victor Otten, one of the attorneys representing... let's see here. One of the attorneys representing Spencer and Reed has a profanity-laced video of Bay Boys intimidating beachgoers. More than 100 statements from witnesses and 57 police reports filed over the last 20 years.
Wow.
Related to harassment, assault, and vandalism involving the Lunata Bay surfers.
You said 50-some?
57 police reports filed over the last 20 years.
It's only like 2 a year. 2.5 a year? That's not bad.
It's not horrible.
Fucking A, you get fucking 50 shot dead in your city every weekend.
Easily.
What the fuck?
Attorneys for the city and Chief Kepley denied the allegations, but they said it's too early in the litigation to provide any specifics for their defense. Two other lawyers representing Johnson and Blakeman questioned whether the so-called Bay Boys amounted to a criminal street gang and contended that the situation at Lunata Bay has greatly been exaggerated.
All right. Jesus fucking Christ, Nathan. Come on.
Jeez.
I never thought I'd see the day where I would see MLK in surfer gear.
Right.
What the fuck?
Well, they were celebrating down on Lunata Bay.
I guess. Oh,
So crazy.
Holy cow.
There is the allegations of a criminal street gang. This is legally incorrect and truly disrespectful of the victims of actual street gangs, said J. Patrick Carey, Johnson's attorney, who described the defendants as friends and members of a surfing club. Carey contended that the one allegation against his client for battery is groundless. The concept of the Bay Boys is a false one, said Robert Cooper, Blakeman's attorney. As to Mr. Blakeman, he has lived here in Palos Verdes estate almost his entire life. He is loved and respected. He has a very strong support in the community, and he's never done anything that is alleged in the lawsuit. Those who say they are out to end localism at Lunata Bay contended that destroying the fort was an important step. We're taking away your power, man.
Yeah, pal.
We're taking down your fort.
Fort.
We're going to take you down, man.
They're 50-year-old men with a fort.
Yes. Police reports over the years show that the shelter, with its stone patio, fire pit, table, and wooden benches and palm thatch roofing, was constructed without permits near the water's edge and was the site of parties as well as frequent drug and alcohol use.
As opposed to the beach where that never happens, right?
Right.
No partying, no drug use on the beach.
Never.
Stop it.
Otten, one of the attorneys behind the lawsuit, has emails from a witness to Palos Verdes Estates Police indicating that officers have been present at the shelter while people were drinking alcohol, but did nothing about the municipal code violations.
Oh, my God.
They were drinking a beer, man.
Yeah, man.
Right in front of cops, and they did nothing about it.
Wrote a book at them.
Some who watched the shelter's demolition this week doubted that the action will have the desired effect, and questioned whether the news media and others have exaggerated the situation.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the case here.
Yes. I don't understand what raising the patio is going to do to stop territoriality, said Earl Isaacson, 68, who lives in Lunata Bay area and has attended the barbecues at the shelter. I've been here for 35 years, and I have never witnessed anyone getting hassled.
Look what you started in the chat room. This is your fault, Neely. That photo is your fault. Martin Luther King doing Black Power while sitting and holding a surfboard.
Right.
What the fuck is going on with this show?
It's an alternative universe we live in.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, my God.
They're going to try to make it look like these guys are a gang. It's not a gang. There are lots of people here with good jobs. It's all been blown out of proportion. No one up here wanted that patio torn down. It was a landmark. You came in and you fucked it all up for all of us.
So couldn't these guys just show up the next day with like a folding table and some chairs? Maybe a little hibachi?
Maybe.
What would be the difference? You know?
Well, that structure with a sign of strength.
Oh, is that what it was?
A sign of strength, man.
Right.
And we took it away from them. You're not such big men now, are you?
Yeah, pal.
Your fort is gone.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide your dirt clods.
No more rocks for you to throw on this beach, pal.
Yeah. We taught you.
Yeah, we got rid of those rocks.
Exactly. So that's the latest in the Beach Boy or the Bay Boys saga.
Good Lord. What a mess.
How many dollars and hours and manpower has been spent on this whole thing?
Shit, there's been $500 spent just in writing stories for this newspaper. Just the stories on this shit. This has got to be $1 million that they've wasted in the last year on this shit. Easily. And
what is the real? Let's break it down. We've really not broke this down.
Yeah. What
does this really boil down to?
A bunch of rich snobby fucks don't like this group fucking partying. That's what it breaks down to me.
No, what it boils down to is this disenfranchised people who don't live in the area, and they may be surfers or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But it's just this envyism, I guess it is.
Okay.
Saying, what makes you so special? Why can't I have the same privileges as you? Yeah. I'm going to do whatever I can to take that away from you.
Douchey fucks.
Yeah, you know, the thing is that you and I go to work. You go from your bed to your couch or your... I go to work every day. Most people that listen to this show just go to work every day.
Sure.
Who's got the time to spend thinking about those privileged fucks? I'm going to do whatever I can to just piss on their parade.
Yeah, man.
Why should they have something I don't have access to?
Yeah, I hate people like that.
You know what I mean? It's just like, why do you get to have this and I don't?
Yeah, man.
I'm going to prove to you that you're no more special than me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, how long is the California coastline?
Oh, shit.
It's like almost 1,000 miles long, right?
Yeah, it's long as shit.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 miles long. So in that 1,000 miles, that one little section of beach, that Lunata Bay,
right?
That's like the most coveted place in 1,000 miles worth of beach,
right?
Seriously,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a surfer. I'll admit that, but you have to go out of your way to file lawsuits and complain to police and file reports, and they wouldn't let me play down there, man. I tried to surf and they said no, and they said, get out of here, you kook. And
you know who we should ask about this when we have him on the show?
Who's that?
At the beginning of the year, Sean Sheldon.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to talk to him.
Because he's a surfer. Or used to be. He would have to have some insight here.
Well, we need to know about that.
He's probably had rocks thrown at him. Because I can't believe that he would be strong enough to go into the Bay Boys territory.
Sure.
You know, he got one rock thrown at him. He got the fuck out of there.
And here's the other thing. You know, obviously they're a very close-knit community to where they can identify each other.
Yeah.
What is it about the people who live in that area that don't get harassed and others who do?
Yeah, the ones that get harassed are the ones that go where they shouldn't go.
Well, my point is everybody really must know each other pretty well down there.
Right.
To be able to identify somebody who doesn't belong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably do.
So it's just like, how many of them are there? And they
the hell?
What the heck is that?
It's the Lots Boys.
I see that. But they've got to know each other well enough to identify somebody who's from the outside.
Right.
And go, hey, that's a stranger. What are you doing here? You know? Get out of here.
You're not one of our...
Yeah, get out, pal.
Yeah, pal. You don't have the special shorts that mark you as a Bay Boy.
Right. So that's the other thing I wonder about, too. It's just like, wow, do these guys really know each other so well that it's just like, hey, you're not from around here. What are you doing on our beach?
Maybe it's like Sons of Anarchy and they have a big back tattoo.
Maybe.
Could be. And that's how they recognize each other.
Sure.
Then when they throw them out, they black it all out. You know, just like on Sons.
Exactly. Or they burn it off with a torch.
Right.
I love this story, though.
I know. The Bay Boys are the most ridiculous shit ever.
Again, I think you should fly out to California and go down there with...
I'll go down there with Bob.
With Bob and Toby and go, hey, which one of you are the Bay Boys?
Who's the biggest Bay Boy here?
Right. Who's the leader of the pack?
Who's the lead Bay Boy? Need to have a word with you, sir.
Right.
Don't fuck with me or Toby will fucking beat you.
Yeah, put down that dirt, Claude. Put it down.
Yeah.
I'm just here to talk. I come in peace.
Guarantee you there's one of you that's Jewish and Toby's German, so look out.
Exactly.
I'll fucking fry you up.
Commercial radio sucks. That's why we're here. The Classic Metal Show.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Rat with Slip of the Lip, Chris. A slip of the lip. What do you think that's significant of?
I don't know. What's about to happen?
I guess that was kind of my point. But on the phone with us, we have got the manager of the Sin City Sinners, former co-manager of the current lineup of Rat, Jason Green. Welcome to the Classic Metal Show, there, Jason.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Big fan of the show, and I enjoyed your segue.
Very nice. How did you find the show, Jason?
You know, when we were doing first of all, when we refer to Rat would be Warren DeMartini and Stephen Piercy and Juan Crusade and that other guy. And Robin Crosby. So when we refer to the current band, we call it Fake Rat.
Right.
So just so you know, when I say Fake Rat, you know who I'm talking about. But so when I did the Fake Rat thing, I went on YouTube and I saw some of the interview footage. Some of the coverage that you guys did. So I started listening to it and I really dug it. And we were laughing. I started playing for the other guys in the band, the other members of Fake Rat. And as we were traveling, we would just laugh. I put on my headphones, and it became sort of a regular thing to listen to. And I thought that you guys had a really good take on it. We were kind of laughing because so much of it was accurate. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You guys had a pretty good take on what was going on, and I'll say that some of the real members of Rat have also listened to some of your episodes.
Well,
we enjoyed it.
Well, who are the real members that have heard this?
I probably shouldn't say, even though it's pretty. By the end of this, it'll be fairly obvious which ones I talked to. So.
Well, I was corresponding with Steven today, and Steven's been, a friend of the show for the last probably 15 years.
Right.
And actually, I'm trying to set something up with him to come on and, just give us an update with what's going on with him and whatnot. And, I know Warren a little bit, and I know Juan a little bit. I've known these guys. Chris and I have been doing this for 20 years, so we've crossed paths with those guys for, many times over the years. So to know that they heard us do our shit probably wasn't a surprise to them.
Yes, yeah, and I think that there's so much legal stuff going on that I think a lot of the guys aren't ready to make their own statements. It'd be nice for Steven to, when he's ready, to say what he has to say, and Warren as well. Warren's a quiet, private guy, and he's not the type of guy who's going to go out and just shoot his mouth off. He's really working towards a trial. First of all, I should say, it's a shame that everyone wants to start these frivolous lawsuits, but everything I'm saying is either my opinion or something that I believe to be true. You know what I mean? So it's not slander, because believe me, you guys, this is Exhibit A, coming up for sure. You guys are getting subpoenaed after this, because it's Bobby Blotzer's legal dance floor, and he's come to dance, as he said on my voicemail. But so yeah, those guys are, those guys have their cases. There's a lot of lawsuits, and there's a lot of the lawsuits with Bob that aren't public as well. So he's got his issues, but so I wouldn't want to make any announcements for those guys. But one of the main points that I think with this fake Rat is that Bob puts out this statement that the guys don't want to tour, and he tries to convince the fans. He has this thing. Let's just tell everybody they don't want to tour, or that Warren's too rich and he's not interested. And the truth is, those guys, it's not that they don't want to tour. They don't want to tour with him. They don't want to tour with Bob. And they had some really lucrative offers for shows. I don't think I think it's pretty public, but that they turned down because they'd rather not play with him. He is the factor that they don't like, and that's proven by all their lawsuits and all their own issues. So, ultimately, who knows? Maybe there's going to be a Rat soon enough that has, the three guys that really had something to do with the success of Rat. And I think that would probably be the end of fake Rat. If you've seen, Bob's lost twice against Juan Croucier. He's trying to sue Juan and get temporary restraining orders. And it's just ridiculous. It's just so frivolous and silly. Maybe Juan shouldn't have used the Rat logo, but that's a simple cease and desist, and he stopped using it. But to say that he can't say he's a member of Rat, of course he was. The other voice of Rat, well, that's a little. I'm not sure. Like, is it legal? I'm sure it is. Is it accurate? Well, that's up to people's opinion. I feel like the other voice of Rat is playing with the Sin City Sinners tonight, which is Jizzy Pearl. But Juan sang on those songs. He's a big part of Rat. So. And for Bob to try to sue him and stop it, and this is all public, the judge basically said, not only do I not know if Juan has the right to them, I don't think Bob has the rights to the name. And so there's a lot of, there was a lot of shady shit going on. Right. And ultimately, the big thing is that the fans should know. I made the point. Bob's a bully. That's really what he is. He's a bully, and he talks tough. But he can't back it up, and he doesn't back it up. He likes to call people in the middle of the night and threaten them. Maybe another time I'll release his voicemails that are just ridiculous. But he's just, you'll be hard pressed to find a guy who says he's a nice person, or even a decent person, in my experience. So, he wants to go out there and dupe these people. This is all about, making money. He doesn't care about fans, and he doesn't care about what, he thinks he's going to be Foreigner. He thinks he's going to be we're going to make he talks to those guys a Foreigner, and he hears what they make, and that's going to be us. This is Rat, and he just programs those guys, and some of them are buying what he's selling. It's hard to believe. I never believed, I never believed a second of him. When we, hopefully I'm not boring you guys, but
not at all. Not at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah. When I started this thing, he came to be a guest with Sin City Sinners, and everybody says, he's a jerk. He came to guest with us once about 2009, 2010, and he was just in town. He was fine. I didn't really deal with him. He played, and he was fine. He left. Then we had the idea, let's bring him back, and he was really difficult. Advancing the show. Sin City Sinners has had a couple hundred guests so far, and really some big people we jam with. Sammy Hagar, Slash, Vince Neil, Sebastian Bach. They were all easy. The only one who was a pain in the ass was Bob. And drunk calls in the middle of the night. This has got to be pro. And it's because in his mind he was thinking maybe I can find a band that I could pass off as Rat. So he came in and played, and I got this young guitar player, Blaze, who's been jamming in town, and he's really good. He's a great guitar player. At the time he was 21 years old, and I said, hey, why don't we call Jizzy to come and sing a few songs? It'd be a sort of mini, second Rat reunion. And Josh, who's the current singer, he never heard a Rat song in his life. He was 30 and he didn't know Rat or care about it. And so I didn't think that he would be able to learn all those songs. So we had Jizzy sing most of them. And as the show went on, it was fun. And then Bob called me and he says, look, I got this idea. You want to make a lot of money? We're going to make some money. I got this idea. We're going to put together, this thing, the Rat Experience. The Rat Experience was just a copy of Jason Bonham's Experience. That's all that was. And I'm probably as guilty in that concept, ripping off that concept, And originally it was, let's go out and play the Invasion album from start to finish. And okay, it sounded kind of fun. And we'll play some small bars and it'll be fun. And, Sinners are really easy. We played a ton of gigs and, sure, okay. And I knew he'd be difficult, but I felt like if this is what the other guys want, we could add some extra money, we can add some extra, attention. Why not? And at the end of the day, I knew that when it ends, we'll probably get more attention and press for leaving Bob than actually joining Bob. So, and that certainly has happened. But so we started doing these rehearsals for the Rat Experience, and after we picked the songs, and then after the first show, we had a blackboard. We had all the songs written up. We got to rehearsing Invasion, and we got to the song "Got Me on the Line," and Bob just didn't know it and didn't like it, and he probably had nothing to do with it, whatever, but he refused to play it. And I go, well, you're advertising you're playing a record start to finish. How can you skip it? He goes, and then the next song is Dangerous but Worth the Risk, and he kept going, Steven plays it. I don't want to play anything Steven plays. And it's like, well, so now you want to play 8/10 of the album. Should we advertise that? In its entirety sounds better. No one's even going to know. No one's going to care. Who's paying attention? Meanwhile, the fans come to the record. They're holding the vinyl album in their hand. Right. And when we would get to the song before, they would be disappointed that we advertised a full record, and they didn't get it. So that was the beginning. And then he started saying, I'm not playing Wanted Man. I'm not playing Body Talk. How many bands are lucky enough to have 10, real hit songs, great songs? That's your set list. And he would go, I'm so tired of Rat playing the same set list. I'm so tired of, those guys always want to play this. Well, they play it because they work. Fans want to hear, I was laughing at you guys talking about, I guess it's called Infestation, one of the worst albums I've ever heard. I shouldn't say that because I like the other guys in Rat, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like anything since Detonator. And to be honest with you, one time I told Bob, why are we playing all these Detonator songs? Because I go, the Detonator is the reason why Kurt Cobain won, and he didn't take it so well. But, and like all of a sudden, One Step Away which is the worst Rat song ever. He had some hand in co-writing it. And Desmond Child wrote the song, but somehow Bob tricked those guys into letting him write some lines. And he would make Josh introduce it every night, saying, this is a song written by Mr. Robert John Blotzer. That's the intro he had to say every night. Give me a break. And the song sucks. It's really an awful song. It sounds like Rat trying to be Trickster, and no offense to Trickster, I like those guys, but You know, you know what I mean? It was such. Why would a band like Rat, that was a great band, make great album, you know, have to resort to just this pop bullshit? You know, and I've talked to the other members, and you know, some of them might have regretted letting Bob have any hand in writing. But so he would want to take out these other songs to play those songs, and then he had this like great idea that if we're going to play, he didn't want to play anything off the EP, which for me, fans of Rat, you want to hear songs off the EP, you know,
Sure.
When Rat was cool. So he said, I don't want to play any of those songs, but he goes, I'll do You Think You're Tough if we can play Message in a Bottle as the intro to it.
Oh, God.
And we would just look at each other, and we would just look at each other and say, Message in a Bottle. What? We're not going to play Body Talk. We're not going to play Wanted Man. We're not going to play, you know, half these songs. Hold on a second. Hey, Scotty. Scotty Griffin is here with me. Scotty, we're discussing Message in a Bottle right now. Yeah, great song. Do you think it went well with You Think You're Tough? He's not even near the phone. Scotty's not good with radio. Yeah, he doesn't remember. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he's trying to stay as diplomatic in this as possible. But so we all knew it was a stupid idea. Message in a Bottle. Then he decided for an encore, we're going to start doing Instant Karma. If there's anyone who deserves Instant Karma, you know, more, it'd be Bob. But so we did this Instant Karma where you know, he'd have Josh come out acoustic, and he would just yell at everybody. Every night he said, we have to bow a certain way, and everyone has to hold their hands arm in arm a certain way. And it was just so much nonsense, you know, that didn't matter. How about playing the songs people want to hear and quit the bullshit? And so, you know, now we got to find an acoustic guitar. He changed the endings to the song. Basically, in my opinion, Bob was a guy who had very little to do with the success of Rat, and now there's no one there to stop him. The talented guys aren't there. So now he's a genius, you know, he can tell these guys what to do, and they have no choice but to do it. So Instant Karma started adding in the set. Again, if I was a Rat fan, at that point, we didn't play Loving Is a Dirty Job. We didn't play Way Cool Jr. But it was funny because he would play the song Shame, Shame, Shame. And the intro to that is called War in D.
Right.
And it's an instrumental piece. And he would make Blaze copy it, you know, note for note. And Blaze played it very well. And I just kept laughing. I said, we're playing a song called War in D. I said, you guys better be careful because War in D is coming. And eventually he's going to end you guys' gig, you know. Every time I thought about that, I go, you guys keep poking them, you know, eventually you'll see. So, you know, I used to laugh. Bob would throw out these ridiculous numbers that Warren's worth $15 million. And I'd say, well, then he has 15 million reasons to put an end to this, you know. But I don't know, you know, his money and all those things are, you know, Bob puts out these numbers and exaggerates and says crazy things about his personal life. And, you know, who knows? That's all between those guys, and I guess it comes up in their case. Who knows? But so it was starting to feel like it was, you know, it's the Rat experience, but who wants to experience these shitty songs? You know, and there was another one called Giving Yourself Away, which was a ballad. And, you know, some chicks liked it. They heard it at their prom or whatever. But I learned with Rat, if the word away is in the song, it probably sucks. You know? One Step Away, Giving Yourself Away. It was so boring. And then I Want a Woman, he wanted to open for I Want a Woman. You know, and again, I love the other guys in Rat. I thought when I heard I Want a Woman, I was a kid, I always thought that was kind of the end, you know. And most fans that I talked to disliked that tune. But okay, you know, he wanted to open with it. You know, so there was issues with the set and things, you know, from the beginning. And we would all argue, like, why aren't we playing Tell the World, Think You're Tough? Why aren't we playing, you know, Wait Till Junior? You know, some of the songs that these fans want to hear. So we would go out to these venues, and he was always difficult, you know, Bob. He was difficult with the venues. The venues were beyond empty. You know what I mean? There was no one coming to the Rat experience. Just, it was okay. Vegas, we did well because they were there to see the, you know, Sin City Sinners is popular here, and they were interested in it. But we were playing mostly half-empty places, you know. You could say half full. I prefer to say half-empty. And, you know, he made 1 million Bobby Blotzer Rat Experience T-shirts. You know, who's going to buy that? You know, and the answer is nobody. But so that's when the whole thing came, we're going to call this Rat, you know. I'm going to get a lawyer, and I'm going to try to cover myself. And, you know, it's a cash grab. I'm going to jump the money up by calling it Rat, and I'm going to secretly switch the Facebook over so that 600,000 fans will now be switched to his, you know, his bullshit, the fake Rat, and not even realize it. And you should have seen the number of people dropping off Facebook the next day. You know, it's like a massive exodus of people. It was you look at the chart and how many people, and there's still people on there who don't know any better. And then there's people who just fall for his line. The poor me act. Again, this guy, there's no poor me. This guy's a bully. I'm not going to get into his legal stuff, but people know exactly what I'm talking about. And he's just not a good guy. He's not good to people. He's not good to employees. And, he's not good to staff, and he's, he deserves, he deserves to have this taken away from him. He's done so many things to those guys, and it's up to Steve and Warren and those guys to tell their personal stories, and obviously they have them. But so anyway, then he decided, we're going to show up with the whiskey and we're going to buy these big scrims. He was really big into buying backdrops and scrims, and he wanted to act like it's an arena. Meanwhile, we played an empty whiskey, and he called it Rat for the first time. And Carlos Cavazzo was in the audience, and I know him, but I was embarrassed to talk to him. So I was embarrassed the entire time I did this. I've always felt that a tour manager and a manager are very different jobs. And no disrespect to tour managers, because you know what, it's the hardest job. You're the first one there, and you're the last one to leave. And there's a lot of, and you have to deal with assholes. And I dealt with the biggest one of them all. But a manager has a creative say in the business and wants to do things right and brand things. And now more than ever, you got to have somebody who knows how to do it. Artists are artists, and management is management. In Bob's case, I became the tour manager by default. I knew the other guys, and I worked with them, and I would travel out of Vegas with them. And and organize their travel and things. And most of those guys, especially the ones who've stayed, have never toured before. They've never done anything.
Sure.
Professionally, So I got duped into being the tour manager. And as I started going, Bob wanted, he wanted me to slip pieces of paper under all the guys' doors with itineraries. It's like, what is this, 1984? No, we have cell phones, and there's an app for this. But he just didn't get it. And he also didn't get that when you play these little clubs, this is a good story. We were playing a place in Minneapolis, and everybody, every city's the same to me at this point. It's just, every experience was bad. But the guy was cursing me out as he's paying me. This is not fucking Rat. This is bullshit. Stephen Piercy is Rat. This is a fucking, as he's counting the money.
I think we mentioned that in our little tirade about that, how that people were going to be going, this isn't what I paid for.
Yes, yeah, that especially, and that might have been one of the experience shows, but it didn't matter. Nobody was there, and they just yelled at me, and it's like, what am I going to do? Defend him? With a good conscience, I can't tell you that this is the greatest product ever. In those guys' defense, the one nice thing I'll say is, sure, they sound good. They're a great Rat cover band. They play the songs well. Me personally, and I'm a rock and roll fan. I like to go to concerts. If you told me that Rat was a cover band was playing with Bob Blotzer up the block, I wouldn't go. If it was playing in my living room, I'm not sure I would go. I just don't think the world needs to see that. I don't need to see it. Nothing special about it. But hey, more power to him. When it was the experience, he did have the right to do it, and now a court will decide if he has the right to do, fake Rat. But yeah, I took shit every night from people saying, "What is this?" And and most nights fans came up to me and gave me albums and said, "Can you take this backstage and have Steven autograph it?" And I said, that's going to be difficult. There was confusion. People would come up to Blaze after the show, Blaze is the guitar player, and say, hey, were you even born when the first Rat record came out? And he said, I wasn't born when the sixth Rat record came out. He's so young, Kurt Cobain was dead when he was born. But so, yeah, there's definitely there's an illusion going on. And of course, he likes to talk about the shows were sold out. The majority of the shows he said were sold out were not sold out. That is not true. I saw the numbers every night. If there was 2,000 people at a gig, an outdoor show, and listen, that would be with an LA Guns and a Warren on the bill. That let's say that people would come out. He would say the next day, we got to say there was 10,000 people. He was never honest about numbers ever. It was just silly. And he's fuming right now, by the way. Listening to this and telling his cronies all the things they have to do and legal action they have to take. And I could just care less. It's just it's not well, the other thing is so he put out there that this is sour grapes. No, it's not sour grapes. I couldn't stand working with him, and there was not a day that that entire band didn't sit in the airport coming home and say, we hate him, we can't stand this is horrible, and we want to quit. Every show. There was not a show that went by where we went, wow, that was a great trip. No, they were all horrible, only because of him. We all got along fine at that point. but nobody wanted to do it, and I feel bad for the guys who were, in my opinion, stupid enough to stay with him, and think that this is a great investment. We're going to be in Rat. He's got them trained like Stepford Rats or whatever. They believe that they're going to make a record, that they're going to tour, that we're going to be Foreigner. He promised this Poison tour that never happened. There is no Poison, right now. And so instead they're playing a few shows with Bret Michaels, and I give Bret Michaels credit. He's selling those shows, and the other 8 bands, just because Fake Rat is on there. If I'm Winger or Warrant or one of these bands that's got a really strong lineup, I'd be pissed opening for Fake Rat. And I will say that there's some bands out there who refuse to do it. A lot of bands, and some bands dropped off the bills as well because they refused to do it. And I don't blame them. You work to keep your band together and your brand, and now you have to, is Bill Ward's Black Sabbath coming? You know what I mean? It's the Bill Ward Black Sabbath experience. It's so, and that would be better though. At least the Ward had something to do with the importance of Black Sabbath. So anyway, he tried to put out this thing that this was sour grapes, and just to be straight on my point, my ex-girlfriend, not by choice, but passed away. She was I would call her every night and go, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm doing this. She'd say, no amount of money is worth working with someone that you can't stand. And I'd put him on the speakerphone when he was talking and mute it, and she would listen and just go, I can't believe this jerk. And she told me, I can't come to those shows because I'll punch this guy out, which would probably be what he deserved. But he was so bad that when she, and she I dated her from 95 to 99 in New York. We broke up for 10 years, and in that time she developed an addiction, sadly. And when we got back together around 2012, she was in recovery, but, anyone knows that it's hard to, I know, Chris, you got a book and stuff, battling addiction is not an easy thing. So, she had her slips, she got pneumonia. Anyone else with pneumonia who's healthy, you have a chance of beating it. But if you had a 10-year drug problem on and off, your organs are not in great shape. And, I went to a show, and when I came home, she went into cardiac arrest, and went to the hospital, and she was in a coma for 3 days. I'm sorry to bum everybody out, but, I think that people should know the facts of this because they tell so many horrible lies and stories. And she was in a coma, and while she was in the coma, Bob was calling me every day demanding these merch numbers from some show. When you play these little stupid bars, you get a merch girl who's a fan. These aren't, you get a Live Nation show, you get a real report. Half these places don't know what they sold, and the merch numbers were never that giant anyway. And I told them, I got to get through this first. I knew ultimately what was going to happen. I didn't have time to deal with Bob Blotzer. It was the hardest thing I've ever dealt with, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, maybe even including him. But, and he just wouldn't stop, texting me. And I knew that, and this is public information, Stephen's twin sister passed away, and Stephen didn't want to go, I think, do a cruise, and Bob was a complete jerk about it. Warren's had family members pass away, and Bob was a complete jerk about it. And so now I'm living through it. And I said to myself, I'm going to quit this stupid band. There's no way I'm going to do this. After losing, Deborah, there's no way that I'll tour with this asshole anymore. And I wanted to quit every show. I was trying to be the team player and keep it together for the Sinners and keep those guys, and the money was okay, and so, I was trying to be the team player. Meanwhile, I was sacrificing my sanity. And, honestly, I think it was hurting the Sinners brand, not helping it. We were becoming a joke, So I was ready to quit. All of a sudden, he had one of the guys in the band, I got to come by and get the merch, and I got to come by and get the backdrop, but he can't admit that he'd already hired another tour manager, which was fine, all good. I was ready to go, Same way he couldn't admit that he hired Robbie Crane 3 months before he told anybody, including Scotty. This is the way he does business. This is the tough guy, a real tough guy doesn't go and hide behind lawyers. You know what I mean? It's like, I heard you guys referring to this on the last one. It's like, what's wrong with people nowadays? I'm going to get my lawyer. I don't like what you said, so I'm going to get my lawyer. A bunch of pussies. I mean, what happened to society? It's like, I'm going to get a frivolous lawsuit. I'm going to get a lawyer who works on a commission, and I'm going to just keep people in court. You know what I mean? Grow up. It's like, anyway, I know I'm giving you a million different points at once, but, yeah, so, and I think people want to hear the truth, and they read enough bullshit. So when she passed, I just said to him straight, I go, hey, look, I know you got somebody else, so let's stop beating around the bush, let's get to it. And he texted me and he said, his long professional response, it's been great working together, and I hope you're going to be professional like I am. I said, no, not at all. I said, I think you're an asshole. I always thought you were an asshole, and I have no plans in saying anything nice about you, and I only wish you the worst. And that is how I felt, and it was time to get it out. And what's funny is all those punks in that band all said the same thing, but no one had the guts to back it up. I'm the only one. They used to say, I'm going to smack Bobby Blotzer. I'm going to curse him out. I'm going to quit. They were all the secret talent, but no one had the guts to speak up to him except for me. And I was just, once I was done, and people said, it's infamous that I won a Metal Sludge, and I talked a little bit about it. And, and I dig Metal Sludge. I dig your guys' show. I dig that rock and roll should be fun. And, all these people are, a little gossip's good. We're lucky people are even talking about these bands anymore. But they said, do you think it's going to hurt your career? I said, hurt my career? Is Firehouse not going to take me on the tour? Is Babylon AD not going to make me their tour manager? I'm good. I'm happy staying here in Vegas and doing what I do. And I never want to be a tour manager again. It's not, like I said, respect to the guys who do it, but it's not for me. And I don't want to be on the hair metal scene, getting screamed at because, there's only one real member or whatever it is. So I was done. And at that point, when we started, I should point out, we were like going to be a union, basically. Me and the guys who were in the Sinners were going to stick to our price, stick to our demands, and stick to our business. And if one guy gets fired, everybody leaves. And that was the unanimous decision. Everyone's in it together. And I said, okay, because we were on the worst flights, and we were, the business was bad. And I said, we stick together, we can argue, choose our battles. Bob got a hold of them.
Hold on 1 second,
Sure.
Just because and I'll believe me, I'll let you keep going. Are you saying that the band was like on some shit flight and Bobby wasn't?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, he took some shit flights too, but there was other ones where he flew first class. He hated that I ever said that. It was nothing he got mad about, but it's true, I get it. In this day and age, touring's tough, so you want to save money. But to save $20 and put us on a 4:30 a.m. flight to play that night, it kind of sucks. But I mean, listen, there's a lot of bands doing that. It's unfortunately kind of standard. But yeah, there was unhappiness. We wanted to sort of work out some of the things. It was certainly all about, Bob wanted his own dressing room, and everything was him, and we wanted to sort of stick together as a group. And we were making a record at that time, called Let It Burn, which is out now. And, we thought we were making a good record. And, I got an investor to put up the money for that record. And it cost, it ended up costing about $10,000 to make that record, and those guys quit the day after the record was released. And there's a debt, and me and Scotty Griffin are the two who were still working to pay off the debt. The other guys chose to stay in Rat. And, Bob was, listen, after I talked my shit, Bob, gave him an ultimatum. He had given Josh the ultimatum many times, though. Since day one, you can't be in any other band that cheapens, your value to Fake Rat or whatever. You got to be my singer. And I wished those guys really well. I wanted to be amicable with them, but they just talk so much shit about me and, amongst the, local fans here in town and stuff. It sounds like a small thing, but Sinners is a very local Vegas business, and I think they can't handle the fact that I replaced them with two successful people. Odd Fox came in for the guitar player the next night, and, great multi-platinum guy from Stryper, and Jizzy Pearl, the other voice of Rat, came in the next show. We didn't miss a beat, and we went back to work, and we're doing better than we've ever done tonight. That we've done tonight. We got a great show with all those guys, and they can't handle that. So they some of them had to go take to their Facebook to say that they're a man of few words, and you guys know who I'm talking about, and take pictures of arenas and act as if they sold out that arena, and act like they're a baseball player who pitched on LSD or whatever they might do. It's it's sorry.
You mean you saw that little dust up between me and him?
Well, you know what? I'm blocked from all those clowns on Facebook, but I did hear you talk about it on the on the air, which I thought was great. Yeah, he always says that I'm a man of few words, And I don't approve of the way you talk to shit. You're talking our private business. Yet he's on that Facebook every day fighting with fans, fighting about his relevance in Rat, and he's talking about when the last Rat show was and the original line. Guy knows nothing about it, and these clowns are talking about Robin Crosby's image showing up in the smoke. I mean, are you kidding me? If Robin, I don't know what you guys believe in, but if Robin Crosby really came back, that stage would have went up in smoke. You know what I mean? He would have struck down upon that stage with great vengeance and put an end to this
furious anger.
I mean? Yes, yeah. You think he thought Bobby Blotzer was the talented member of Rat? Come on, So I am relieved every day I wake up that I don't have to deal with those clowns. I'm relieved. When I was going through the grieving process, and I'm still going through, it's only been 3 months, but I'm talking about the loss of Deborah, not the loss of Fake Rat. He would call me and threaten me and leave the nastiest messages, and eventually I'll put them out. I mean, he said I can play him. You play us for whoever the fuck you want. You put your girl in the grave, and I'm going to put you in the grave. And it's like, and then he would say, You don't know what's coming. The legal dance floor, and I like to dance. And he's a drunk clown, The best thing is never having to talk to him. I don't want to give too much of Warren's business, but I know that part of their lawsuit is that they don't have to talk to each other. Maybe one of them's relieved, So anyway, for me, it's good to be over, and I don't mind talking about it because again, those guys talk so much shit. Also, some of it gets lost. Like one of the ones you guys talked about, you read the Metal Sludge article, which was fun. I was laughing hearing my name 1,000 times. I wish I could have called in. I'm used to hearing it, recorded later.
Sure.
Like, wow, I want to call in and talk about this. But the racist stuff. Bob's known for saying these crazy anti-Semitic things. He'd call me Jason Nuremberg. I have all the text messages, and Jason Nuremberg, this is at the end, and you're a fucking swine, and, it's like, and, I'm half Jewish, but not by religion, whatever, I don't give a fuck, that he's a jerk, it's not my thing, but, this is the kind of guy that people are dealing with, and, that's why I put out a lot of what he said. People should know what they're really getting. Don't fall for that smiley guy, and in his tough guy bullshit, and threatening me, and you don't know when it's going to come. Finally he shut up, but I was getting ready to say, look, I'm going to fight him anywhere, anytime, and all the proceeds will go to a domestic abuse charity, for obvious reasons. And because I'm just so sick of him acting like a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. It's a miracle that guy can walk, by the way. The amount of surgeries he needs and has had, and, I'm tired of it, and I have no problem, sitting here. And believe me, I laugh when I came to do this interview. I laugh because, all these Metal Sludge and stuff, they'll pull the one quote, that I said, by Blotzer's a piece of shit, whichever one, and that'll be a headline. Which, we should all be thankful though for Bob in some ways because he's really making, he's writing news for us. It's not every day that Phil Lewis is going to say blacks are all the same. We should be thankful that there's somebody so stupid out there that they think they could be they can run the Rat trademark. So anyway, I got to tell you one more funny one though. He called me one day and he goes, we're going to shoot this video. We're going to do this video introduction. He goes, and then we're going to perform it live every night. And he goes, it's going to start in my bedroom. And he sent me the script, and it's going to be my bedroom set. And I go, Bob, how are we going to get your bedroom set on the road? We can't even get a backdrop on the road. Oh no, we're going to start traveling with trucks and things. And so he said, we're going to set up this bedroom, and then I was going to play a janitor, and I was going to come up and I'm sweeping, and then there's a radio, it's a boom box, and then it says in news, Rat has broken up. Where is Rat? And then Bob looks up to the light, and he hears this voice. You have to bring Rat back for the fans. And I'm telling you, it took him 2 hours to explain this. Deborah's sitting there just shaking her head like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" I have no idea, and I don't know why it's taking 2 hours. And then I realized he's describing It's a Wonderful Life to me because the light shines, and then it begins to snow, and I put my arms out in a Christ-like pose. This is all, it's all in there. And I should point out, I never signed a non-disclosure or anything else. So it's all true, no slander. It's my opinion. And fuck anyone and their lawyers. So he then said it's going to, and then it snows, and he said, we're going to use instant mashed potatoes because that's how they do it in Hollywood. And I'm thinking, we're going to pour instant potatoes on Bobby's head. You know, he paid a lot of money for that hair, and now he wants to put potatoes in it. And, and what happens when we're playing some outdoor venue and it rains and the stage becomes mashed potatoes, So anyway, he started shooting this video and everyone quit right in the middle because they couldn't work with him. That's my opinion. He told me that everyone got mad at him and the budget was unrealistic or whatever. It was the worst idea ever. And these are the things he put all his effort into. The instant karmas, the messages in the bottles, the way we bow. Now they're doing some bullshit where they put their hands on their hearts or something. What are you, insane? It's so stupid. And then going out and he bashes Warren and he bashes Stephen on stage. Those guys can't sing, and I'm calling them to play, and they don't want to play. All bullshit. You know what I mean? All bullshit. And those guys will make their statement, about what they want to do soon enough. And I'm directing a show in Vegas called the Vegas Rocks Music Awards, and Sally Steele, and she's got a local magazine out here. And it's a really good lineup, actually, for hair metal fans. I think they'll dig it. It's Sunday, May 15th. And, the Original Angel is going to get back together and for this. And Twisted Sister is going to be there. And Scorpions are going to be there. And, a bunch of cool people. But also Stephen Pierce is going to be there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing to Stephen at that. And I'd like to share some of my Bob stories with him. And because he is the voice of Rat. I don't care what anybody says. And I'll say I've watched videos of him in the last from this year. And you know what? I think he sounds good, and he's performing good. I know he's had some off shows. I've seen him just like everybody else has, but some of the current stuff I've seen is good. And I'll go see Brian Wilson in the Beach Boys. You know what I mean? And he's not exactly the same. No one's the same as they were. But I want to see the guy. I want to see the real voice of Rat. And I think that that's what fans want to see. And I think that all this litigation will go on for a while, but Warren is still a half owner of Rat. I mean, it's funny that Bob represents WBS, which stands for, whatever, Warren, Bobby, and Stephen. And somehow Stephen's not collecting his own money. I think those things have been worked out. I mean, there's a really interesting article. It's on Blabbermouth, the site for news, the source for news and information. But about Juan's statement about how Bob is not a partner in the music of Rat. They have their own company for the music, and he has nothing to do with it. And Juan claims that he has some ties to the mark, and so there's a lot of interesting things that those guys will have to deal with. I don't think that Bob can sit through this interview, so I think that he'll have his friends paraphrase it to him, and then I think he will. I don't know if he's got the guts to go on the air with you guys.
We've invited him on. We've invited him on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll come on and try to rebut me now. It'd be difficult because everything I say is true, and and he can't take it. He'll just go on and call me anti-Semitic names and say that it's sour grapes, and I think in his mind, well, what do I gain from this? Well, what do I lose from it? People are constantly saying lies about me, including him. He is constantly trying to discuss my personal life and things that have nothing to do with the music business or anything else. All I'm talking about is things that this guy really did. And again, bullies shouldn't get away with being bullies. And I'm a Rat fan. I want Rat Lives Matter. That Twitter, we got to get that Twitter up a little bit. I'm a fan of the Rat Lives Matter Twitter, and I dig the guys going to Washington and stuff. They need better signs. I think we got to help. But but I think that I think people need to be aware of it because they are not. And I'm not going to lie. I've told Warren, you got to get out there and let these fans know that you're not. And that you don't endorse this, because the quieter he is, people think that he's given up, and he has not. I can't give his statement, but he has not stopped. He's not going to stop fighting, and he's not done playing. That is the truth, and he'll address that when the time comes. But Bob keep telling people that he doesn't want to play, or that he can't play, or that his hearing is bad. He plays just fine. And people are going to see him soon enough. But these lies need to be straightened out. And if you treat people like shit, you know what? They're going to come back and they're going to bite you. And that's kind of what this case is. And I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and those guys can do what they do. It's funny as I planned on answering your questions, but I don't think I gave you guys a chance to ask.
That's all right.
It's fun.
I ran into Josh about a month ago in Toledo. I was over at the show that they did with 7 bands: Doc and Warrant, Winger, Lita, all that. And I talked to him at the hotel, and I went up and told him who I was. He goes, "Yeah, I know who you are."
Yeah. He's not really familiar, in my opinion, he's not really familiar with much. He's not a fan of that kind of music, and and I give him credit for staying off of social media and stuff. I don't think he really knows who anybody is, and if he, look, I don't think he's going to be allowed to go on a show that supports Rat Lives Matter, because he's killing Rat. He's part of the he's in the rat trap, so to speak.
Well, that's
sure, but I'm sure he says he'll come on, but I don't know what guys like that are going to do when it ends. I don't know. Is God, what shitty hair metal band is going to need a fake singer? I don't know. Is he going to be like for Bang Tango or something? With no original members. Kyle's Bang Tango experience. The Christy Crash Major's Pretty Boy Floyd experience, whatever. And by the way, I got no problem with any of these guys making a living and doing what they do. And I do see a lot of those guys and work with them. They've all guested with Sin City Sinners. So I'm glad people can get paid to play music. It's just in the case of Bob, when he's out there, I think doing something illegal and definitely
deceptive,
trying to pull the wool of a fan. Yeah, deceptive is the best word for it. Because I see the audiences and they don't know. And a lot of people do leave and say, "Hey, that was a great," they sounded great, and they do sound great, but at the end of the day, that's not Rat, and no one should believe it. And they should not be able to sell tickets, to see something that's not what it is. That is not Rat. There's no way that a concert billing should have it. They do very poorly in the clubs and things. They do well on festivals where there's superior bands on the bill. Bret Michaels, for whatever reason, still has a following, and and some of those bands you mentioned are great bands. There has some good bands on the roster. There are some good bands out there, and I think Trickster is the only one that has an original lineup. But and Striper's all original. They're out there. But yeah, I think that fans got to be aware of it. So hopefully they'll all go to that Twitter and get the Rat Lives Matter. I dig all the photoshops. There's some really good ones out there. Some of them are really crazy, probably too crazy for me even to talk about. But and I will say that there are members of Rat who also have enjoyed those photoshops. So the people should know that their stuff is getting across.
Sure.
And I don't know Stephen Pearsley personally, so hopefully he'll be on your show and he'll make some announcements or talk about what's going on. And I there was a point when I think Bob thought that he was going to get Stephen back. That was a funny thing. He was trying to convince us that he was going to get Stephen to get on stage for a couple songs. This is like towards the end.
With this version of Rat, like Stephen would come out as a guest.
Yes, that's what he was. This is top secret. Yeah, and he asked Josh, "You wouldn't mind, right?" I think you wouldn't mind. You wouldn't. The guy who wrote the songs and is really the singer. But he was trying to, sucker those guys in. And I think he thinks by having Robbie Crane in the band now that he's added to legitimacy. But and I have nothing against Robbie Crane, and he was in Rat for a lot of years. I don't think he sells any extra tickets, and I don't think that he can claim to really being an essential member of Rat either. But he's making a living. There's nothing wrong with that. I think he will also regret his decision. Going on the road with Bob. With no filter, no one in charge other than him. He makes all the decisions. And the things that matter to him are like what side of his drum set his hat is placed on. Those horrible Walmart hats he wears. Who the hell? When did rock and roll have hats? Like that. Holy cow! But he was dead serious. Like it has to go at a certain angle, and my sticks go, and then the beer with the ice. He likes his ice in his beer. That has to go here. And I'm like, I gotta go collect the money. That doesn't fucking matter. It's the only thing that matters. He's a character, and he will be fuming. And the worst thing that he can do. Because I stayed quiet for a while, and then he would get his friends to write shit and talk nonsense and try to push back and threaten me. And you know, I'm just a manager. You know, I'm just a manager, former tour manager, co-manager. Making it public with me only makes it worse for him. You know, if he's, you know, I'm not strong enough to reunite Rat on my own, and I'm not strong enough to break up Fake Rat on my own. You know, and he's got to be aware of that. You know, but if he wants to keep fighting these personal fights with me, he's only going to make himself look foolish. I think every time he speaks, hey, did you guys read the Prince? You know, when someone dies, everyone's got to write an obituary. I personally, you know, I don't really care what these hairband guys think about Prince. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Prince was a genius, okay. You know, but when someone dies, Bobby Blotzer has to call his webmaster and then post it. And then the grammar is usually really bad, and spelling and everything else. But so he had, you know, of course, he had to put out a statement about Prince, right? Because when you think of Rat, you think of Prince, right?
Really?
So one of you guys got to read it. But one of the statements at the end is he's talking about he's comparing the four super talented people were born in the same month. That's Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, and myself. Oh boy, you know, he's comparing himself to those three. You know, it's like, wow, and myself, and I'm just thinking like, okay, you know, this is the delusional guy that's out there, you know, and you know, people wanted me to write about this and post it on Metal Sledge. For me, it's been here. I talked to you guys. I've said everything about these clowns, and you know, I don't think I said anything that, you know, obviously everything I said is true, and people should know. And I think it's a good laugh. And if you don't mind me throwing a plug in there,
sure, go ahead.
If anyone did get a kick out of some of these stories, you know, you can go to officialsinners.com, and there's a charity page. I'm not asking you to buy anything, but if you go to the charity page, you know, I dated a girl who had cystic fibrosis, and so I do a lot for that charity. And we're also doing something for it. And actually, me and Scotty Griffin walked this morning for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and then also the Breast Cancer Foundation. And this charity stuff is not stuff that I did, you know, to make myself to take credit, but it is a worthwhile thing to try to give back. And I research these charities and see that they're making a difference. You know, less people are getting cystic fibrosis. So not to bore everybody, but if anyone gets a kick out of it and you want to go to that page, you go to the charity link and you can donate anything. It'd be a really cool thing. And it, you know, let's take a negative and try to make it positive. You know, I mean, I told some stories for fun, you know, and I think it is entertaining, and I think people should know the truth. But like I said, if anyone listening wants to make a donation, that'd be awesome. And hey, and keep up the Rat Lives Matter. I want to see some Twitters on there. You know, I want to see some followers tonight. You know, and I want to see guys, you know, listen to your show and call in. Where's the one guy who calls in all the time? There's one caller. He always calls in.
Tim James?
He can't. I don't know his name. He's got a funny voice though, and I always dig when he calls in, and he's always complaining about. Last time he was discussing infestation with you guys, but he could only name like the video. But
that was
you guys are great.
Yeah, Tim James. Yeah, he's from Australia.
Yeah, he's a great caller. You guys definitely have your own whack pack. I dig it. You know. Yeah, I've been talking about doing a podcast with Scotty Griffin actually that would not be about music so much, but about other things in life. And so hopefully at some point we'll get that up and going. And then, you know, Cincinnati Sinners, we're calling it Cincinnati Sinners All Stars now. You know, it's playing all over town, and the core lineup is Jizzy Pearl, Oz Fox, Scotty Griffin, and Blas Elias from Slaughter. And because those guys are still in touring bands, you know, tonight we got Armored Saint filling in for Oz while Oz plays with Stryper. And, you know, so we've got a really good sort of rotating lineup, and it's fun. You know, we try to give back. We got a lot of special guests. On May 12th, we got Dizzy Reed, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Dizzy Reed, you know, from Guns N' Roses. And we just had Mark Kendall last week. And, you know, we're keeping up what we do and try to keep it fun for everybody.
Sure.
And, did I answer all the Rat questions?
Yeah, I think you've covered it all there, Jason. You've really entertained us all. Believe me, Chris and I are just cracking up over here.
Good. Yeah, I hope so. I enjoy, like I said, I enjoy your show, and I do remember sitting in the car, looking at Bob and listening to the podcast at the same time on my headphones, thinking, "But I can't wait to go on this show." And a lot of people actually told me, "You've got to go on there. You've got to go on there." And I just kept saying, "When this is over." You know, when this is over, I was really hoping to see you guys protest at that one show, the Cleveland show. You know, the Cleveland papered show.
Yeah.
I think it rained and snowed.
Yeah,
or
it was really nasty. Both Chris and I were there, but then we hit the bar.
You guys probably made the right decision. There's a black cloud that follows that band, so rain and snow is a common thing, and and trying to sell 50 tickets, that was a good one too. But
excellent.
But anyway, and then Sin City Sinners All Stars we're going to play. And I'm sitting in Scotty's car while they sound check, and I hope I'm hoping that that Bob won't try to turn this into more, because I'll be happy to talk. I'm happy to tell the stuff that I've been saving, because I've held back the really mean stuff. To be honest, you're thinking I gave it all, but believe me, the voice messages are chilling. I sent him Stevie from Metal Sludge just so he could hear what I was dealing with, and he said, he goes, they're really chilling. That in the middle of the night, a few days after my girlfriend passed away, this is how this guy's handling the situation, and shows the guy he is, and he thinks that he's going to stop me. And he tried to get those guys in some Sinners guys to sue me and all kinds of bullshit. He really thinks that he's going to ruin me. So I'm sure I'll get all kinds of messages and all kinds of hate and not from Rat fans. I mean, I think Rat fans dig it. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say, "Fuck Bobby Blotzer." They yell in my face, and then they tell me their stories. I want to tell you I've become the ambassador of Bobby Blotzer's stories. People, I got to tell you what an asshole he is. I'm like, okay, tell me, but and just horrible things. So anyway, I guess this will be a popular broadcast. I hope.
It will. It'll be a.
Now, what are you guys going to do for the rest of the show?
Well, we got Eric Braverman coming up. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's been a.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he's quite a character. He established heavy metal television.
Nice. Okay.
And
where can you find that? Is that
HeavyMetalTelevision.com?
Gotcha. All right. So he's going to come on and he's going to tell a bunch of stories. Hopefully, they'll be as exciting as mine.
Well, he always has some insight, because he does have an in with bands like Metallica, AC/DC, Megadeth,
nice.
Slayer.
AC/DC featuring Axl Rose. Yeah. So, but what's the big news story today? What are you guys going to discuss?
I don't even know.
Is the Phil Lewis thing a big story?
It's not a big story, but we will talk about it.
Yeah, I'll give you my 2 cents, because I like to do that. Because I listen to it in the car. I don't think it's that.
I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal. I think, in all honesty, he was trying. I think he wanted to say, with like all these rappers and stuff out there, I wish there was more Princes. I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah, I think he was saying that there should be more diversity in the music. He just said everything's one-dimensional right now.
Yeah, he's a nice character. I don't think he meant anything by it. But hey, he'll be happy that this will take over all his headlines. So, but I look forward to listening. I look forward to listening to more of your guys' stuff, and again, hopefully we'll go to the Rat Lives Matter, and then also you can check out Official Sinners.
Sure, absolutely. All right, Jason.
Guys,
well, we appreciate you taking an hour and bending our ear and giving us all the inside scoop. Yeah.
And if those bozos contact you, I'm ready to rebut. So just so you know what I mean. If I got to listen to any fake Rat members on there, I'm hailing, killing, calling in. So.
Nice.
All right, guys. You have a great night. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, say hey to Jizzy for us. We've known Jizzy for years.
Jizzy hasn't got in here yet, but
well, let him know you talked to us for an hour.
Yes, I will do that.
All right.
Cool.
Hail and kill there, Jason.
Hail and kill. Talk later. Bye.
All right. There goes Jason. Well, I think the only way to cap off that interview,
by sending it immediately to Lawyer Fred.
Well, that too, but thought I should play Rat Tell the World.
All right. Sounds good.
So here's Rat exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Classic Metal Show.
All right. Well, what do you want to get into? Do you want to get into the Blotzer thing, or do you want to do a voicemail, or what would you like to do? I'm going to let you choose the direction from right now.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do opposite what everybody else does. I'm going to do the Blotzer thing.
Okay.
Because I know when I'm listening to a show, I fucking can't stand it when they tease something for 4 fucking hours.
Okay.
And I know that there are people listening that want to hear the Blotzer thing.
All right.
So let's do the Blotzer thing.
All right. Let's get into the Blotzer thing.
All right.
Last week, if you listened to the show, obviously,
Yeah.
a guy by the name of Jason Green contacted Chris via the Facebook.
Right.
And said, hey, I listened to the show. I'm a fan. I like what you guys do. Well, since you had the interaction with him, tell us how this all happened.
Well, that's exactly what it was. He just hit us up and said, that he's a fan of the show and he wanted to come on and talk about, what he enjoyed our segments on Rat Lives Matter and whatever.
Sure.
And he wanted to come on the show, and he said if we ever wanted to hear his side of it, that he would be happy to come on.
Okay.
And I couldn't say, please do fast enough.
All right.
I mean, I knew his name, so I knew he was legitimate, and I looked him up a little bit, and, and he was, I mean, here, you want me to read it to you exactly as it went?
Yeah, please do. Let's add to the the show here.
Sure. Well, his first comment to us was, love the rat trap episode. I'd love to dish some dirt. Keep up the good work.
Okay.
And my answer was what it always is. Door is wide open. Got some time to come on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And then it just went into the whole, yes. And then the scheduling and his phone number and blah, 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 blah. And then he came on. I mean, that was the whole entire extent of it.
Okay.
There was, I mean, we talked after that, but it was all, more like, what time is it going to be on? And, can I tell people to listen? Where would they that kind of shit.
Sure. All the details.
But really all that prompted this to happen was that one message. And I said, what do I always say? Sure.
Yeah.
Door is open.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah. What did I say to Bobby this week? Sure. Door is open.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. We don't care.
Right.
We're not, we think it'll be interesting. I was interested in what he had to say personally. And I figured the fans would be too. It's a big story.
Sure.
So we had him on.
Right.
And that's that.
Look at the meme Nathan put in the chat room.
See. That's funny.
He's so fast with that shit.
He's got to learn how to fucking bring people's heads down to size, though.
Right. He needs to, have what's the word I'm looking for?
Photoshop or whatever?
No. Bot dimensions.
I don't know. He needs to shrink them a little bit.
I got this big head and this little body.
I
So
do
funny.
like the driving glove, though.
I do. It's hysterical. All right. Well, anyway, so obviously Jason came on last week.
Right.
I introduced him, and then basically, aside from one clarification during his diatribe,
Right.
he spoke for close to an hour.
Yeah, like 53 minutes or so.
We did not interrupt the guy, and he basically just talked and, in a very humorous manner.
Yeah.
And that was it. He plugged his Sin City Sinners. He was, doing some sound check, and he was out.
Right.
End of story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, our good friend Stevie Rochelle from the website Metal Sludge,
Yes.
which still has, a fairly decent following, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He posted it out there the following day.
Sure. On Monday.
And, the hits started coming.
Right.
And prior to his posting, I think the episode went up at 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Right.
And I looked at it right around 9, I'm going to say about 10 o'clock Eastern. It had gotten about 250 hits.
Okay.
By the end of the day, right around 6 o'clock, it was already up over 6,000. I mean, it did like 6,000 downloads in a day.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris and I had expected some kind of backlash or feedback or whatnot. And Chris...
I thought legal.
Yeah, well, Chris kind of predicted that by Thursday,
Right.
we would hear something.
Right.
Well, it was Wednesday night.
Right.
We had gotten a voicemail from Bobby Blotzer himself.
Right.
It was in the voicemail, and I went ahead and recorded it.
Okay.
Took out any kind of pertinent information, contact information.
Yeah.
So Chris hits me up on Wednesday evening, says Bobby left us a voicemail.
Right.
Now, let me make this very clear.
Okay.
That the following day on Thursday, Chris made contact with Bobby Blotzer.
Yes.
And had an exchange of, texts back and forth.
Right.
And made the overture to Bobby that the door is open for him to come in and rebut anything and everything that was said.
For it, and let's be clear on what was said there. Not only did I say he could come on, but I did tell him that he could come on without us sandbagging him, without us attacking him, and we would give him the same courtesy that we gave Jason. We would open the door and we would shut up.
Right. So that offer still stands at this point.
Absolutely.
But here's the first contact that Bobby made with us via the Classic Metal Show voicemail.
Okay.
And yes, Scotty, I'm going to play the fucking voicemail.
Yeah.
So relax. So here's Bobby checking in with us.
What's up, fellas? I think there's two of you. I don't know who anybody is over there. This is Bobby. And I sadly just broke down and listened to part of this interview regarding me from an extremely crooked slime ball named Jason Green. I don't like what I'm hearing on there, dude. It's impossible for me to listen to a giant pack of lies, all of them from start. Well, I missed the whole thing, but I know you guys have it in for me, and that's fine and dandy, but you should probably know the person that you're trying to hate on.
All right. So he's under the impression that we have it in for him.
Right.
Which you made it very clear that that's not the case.
Completely not the case. We're both Rat fans. We're both, as I said to him in my email, and we can read my email if you want to.
Well, we'll get to it.
But I basically told him, I said, I personally, I think I said in there, I don't speak for you, but I have been a fan since 1984, and I've seen him 24 times, and, I'm a fan. We don't have an axe to grind with Bobby or Rat. We did a goofy segment that caught some fire about fake Rat, and we don't like,
Nice.
Anyway, that is really funny.
That is funny.
I personally, and I'm pretty sure you don't either, we don't have a problem with Bobby. Personally.
No, not at all.
I mean, I don't even know.
I've said it on numerous occasions on the show. Yeah. Every time that I've had any contact with Bobby on a one-on-one basis, he's always been nice to me.
And I don't know Bobby. I mean, I've run into him maybe once or twice. You've had a lot more interaction than I have with him. I've interviewed him twice. That's it. I don't have any animosity with the guy. And we'll get into the specifics of that when we read the emails. But
sure.
But anyway, neither of us have it in for Bobby.
Because the truth always prevails, mate. And that's it. I'll talk to one of you. I don't know who's who. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with the show. But my phone number, I don't know if it came up or not. I'll give you my email. If you want to talk, I'd like to set something straight. I don't know if I want to go on the air and do it, but it just bugs me a lot that you guys are feeding into this. Do you fly straight or do you fly crooked? Because doing what you're doing with this, it's not flying straight. So anyway, see you. Bye.
All right. So we're not flying straight by, feeding into this, as he says.
By taking a phone call.
Yeah.
Well, here's where I think he's wrong. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We don't, I'm gonna pretend for a second that everything Bobby just said there is 100% correct. I'm not gonna call him a liar or say that he's making it up and any of that. I'm just gonna say he's correct and everything that Jason said is incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
For the sake of argument, if that's true, that everything Jason said was incorrect, how in the fuck would I know that?
You wouldn't.
There's only one way I would know that. If he tells me this is what Jason said that was incorrect. That was incorrect. This wasn't true. That wasn't true. Jason came on and said, and he said it multiple times. I listened back to it myself to hear it. He said, these are my opinions. This is how I remember it. This is what I think is the truth. Did he not say that?
He said that 2 or 3 times.
And you know what? Who am I to call him out on that when I have nothing to base that against?
Yeah, you have no inside information at all.
I don't know Doc Ellis. I don't know Blaze. I don't know Josh. And I don't know Bobby to have an opposite view. I've not heard from one of them yet, including now, other than this voicemail and some text me and Bobby had. I've not heard anything, and I still have not heard not one specific point where he says this was a lie. Did you?
Not at all.
Not in the voicemails, not in the texts. So, I mean, and again, we did put we put it out there. Bobby is free to come on. We would love to have Bobby come on.
Sure.
I would love for Bobby to come on and set the record straight and tell us why Jason is full of shit, if that is indeed the case.
Sure.
If Jason's full of shit, then come on and say it. Hell, you want to make it even easier, Bobby? Don't come on this show and go on Eddie's show and say it. Go on fucking whoever else. Go on Red and Jerry. Go on who else has a show? Does D still have a show?
I'm not really sure. Haven't heard it.
Go wherever else there is to go that has a show if you don't want to come on here because we have it out for you or something. But tell your side. I'd like you to tell it here. It would make sense that you would tell it here in the place that, 1, will not have to be interrupted 14 times by commercials, and 2, is where this thing started. But do it wherever. But put it out there. Put out there what this guy made accusations, some hard accusations against you. If they're not true, then say it. Pretending that we did something wrong is fucking ridiculous. We didn't even ask any questions. None. I mean, I read you the thing that led to the interview. It's a one-liner. It's Jason asking us to come on. And I said, yes. So we didn't goad him into saying, yeah, come on and talk shit about Blotzer. That did not happen. And Jason, and through the 53 minutes, that didn't happen either. Right?
True.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing wrong. So we're flying as straight as we can fly, really. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, about 25 minutes later, a second voicemail came through.
Okay.
So here's the second voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, guys. I called a little earlier. It's Mr. Blotzer here. I actually...
Mr. Blotzer.
Mr.
Blotzer here.
Sir Bobby of Blots.
I guess. Okay.
broke down and sadly listened to that. It really wasn't an interview that you did. It was more like I don't know how to call it. The one lie that went strung together for an hour.
Right. So It really wasn't an interview we did. We opened up the phone line. This guy called in, and he spewed for an hour.
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Unbelievable that you guys sit there and chuckle at somebody like this guy. I mean, you guys are...
Well, I got to be honest with you, Bobby. I chuckled because he was actually humorous in his presentation.
I thought so. Some of his stuff was funny.
Some of the one-liners he had, he was kind of like a stand-up stream of consciousness comedian.
Right. And to be honest, if some of the things that he was saying are true, they are kind of comical. You know, if some of that stuff is going on in the camp, you know, specifically, I'll point to the thing that I asked the question on about if he's riding in first class and the other guys are riding in coach. That is kind of funny.
Sure. And the whole slipping the itinerary under the hotel doors.
Right.
That kind of stuff. That was funny. If that actually happened, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and teaching the guys how to bow at night, that was kind of funny if that's really happened.
Sure. But he said it in a very comical way. So, yes, we chuckled at him, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Sorry that we found it funny. We're not in your situation where we know what's true and not true. We don't know.
Presumably somewhat intelligent there, I would hope. And you're listening to that stuff and believing it? Seriously?
Well, I don't think at any point we said, we believe every word you said.
Yeah, no, we didn't say
Not
that.
at one point did we say, we believe you.
Yeah. We didn't say we don't. Because again, we don't have anything to base it on.
We don't know.
I have no reason to doubt Jason. To be honest, I have no reason to doubt Bobby that everything Jason said is a lie. I have no reason to have an opinion other than one guy gave his opinion. So he's in the lead, I guess.
Yeah. So until Bobby comes on and says, you know what, every one of those things are false, and here's a prime example.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say. Yeah, you're wrong, man.
Right.
Because I wasn't there. I'm not on the inside.
Right.
This is one man's opinion, period.
Yeah, and it really is one man's opinion because we didn't offer shit.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I want to go on here and refute, which I could, everything from the beginning to the end, as well as about another 20 people that know him, unfortunately, and had to deal with him on any kind of business level. Very bad person. You have no idea whom that guy is.
You're right. We don't.
We don't.
You're absolutely right. I'll give you points for that. We have no idea who this guy is.
No, we don't. We don't know his business practice. We know people that have worked with him. There's you. There's Jizzy Pearl. You know, we know somebody that used to work with him. We know somebody that currently works with him. So what? You know, I'm sure Jizzy wouldn't say that he's a bad guy to work with, at least today.
Sure.
That's a guess. I mean, I don't know that, but anyway, he's right. Bobby's absolutely right. We don't know this guy.
And pretty unbelievable. Just string these lies together. Everything. I mean, everything that came out of his mouth was a lie. That's man to man, me to you. Not that you care. I get it. You got a hatred. That's your, right.
Well, you're wrong about that. We don't have a hatred.
No, we don't.
We don't have a hatred. There's no hatred involved. It's just, it is what it is. It's just like, I have my thoughts on the band Rat as far as an entity is concerned, but a hatred towards you, I disagree with some of the things that you've said and done, especially on social media, because I hate social media.
Right.
Not specifically you, but just social media in general and the way it's used. But as far as hatred towards you, I'll be honest with you, Bobby, if you hear this segment, you've been always nice to me, face to face, even though you don't remember me.
Yeah, even though you don't remember wearing our shirt in photos.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be chuckling.
All fucking lies. Everyone. He was very much into working for this project that's doing insanely well, and it will do well forever. So that's about it, man. Keep hating. Sorry you got that hate because I did nothing to you. And that's it. I don't know. Catch you later. Bye.
So keep hating.
I will say this. If there's a part that I don't believe Jason on, that I do believe Bobby on, it's that last part about Jason was all in. I do believe that Jason was definitely...
From the beginning, I would guarantee you that he was like, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
What's the plan?
I find it very hard to believe that he was not all in when he jumped on board.
I would say that at the very beginning, he probably said, yeah, I'm all in. What's the plan?
Right.
And then maybe at some point he realized, you know what, this isn't everything it's cracked up to be.
Mm-hmm. Or it wasn't working for him or whatever. There we go.
Well, anyway, you crafted an email.
Right.
To Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
And it said, hey, Bobby, got your voicemail. Thanks for making contact. As we said on the show, I will offer you again here. You are more than welcome to come on the show this Saturday or any other and set the record straight regarding Jason's call-in and comments, which he made on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We will give you as much time as you'd like. We won't sandbag you. We won't rip into you. Since you listened to a good portion of it, I'm sure you heard that Neely and I really didn't say anything or offer any opinion on what he said, which is true.
Yeah.
To the contrary, there was one question asked in the 53 minutes Jason was on the show, and that was just a question to clarify something he said. We literally didn't ask anything else, goad him on in any way, or encourage him in any way to say anything for any kind of shock value. Jason came on his own agenda, and we allowed him to speak that. Without hearing the other side of things, we have nothing to base his statements on from where to question what he was saying. As you stated, what he said was a pack of lies. Well, you would know that and we wouldn't. And therefore, the door is open for you to set the record straight. I would like to clarify a few things from your phone message, though, so you know where we stand. We have, number one, we have it out for you. That's blatantly untrue. I won't speak for Neely, but speaking for myself, I can tell you the fact that I don't. Do I like that there's a version of Rat out there without Stephen Warren Wan in it? No, I don't. I'm the same as any other hardcore fan of your band, which I am, that is highly disappointed in what your band has turned into. That said, though, and you are free to listen to any number of the broadcasts that we have done, I'm pretty consistent in not liking what GNR, AC/DC, Warrant, Quiet Riot, etc. I'm a fan. I don't go all Eddie Trunk and pretend I know everything or pretend everything is great, so I get invited to the next cruise or whatever. Our show works for a little audience because we share our opinions as fans and not as industry.
No.
Number two, we are feeding into this. Well, no. Jason reached out to us as a listener and a fan of our show. He heard us previously joking around on the show about your version of Rat and offered to call in and tell his side of the story. We agreed, regardless of your personal feelings for Jason and whatever truths or lies he told before or on our show, you have to admit that your version of Rat touring along with your slamming of him, the other original members of Rat, the lawsuits, etc., make the words of your recent manager that you fired a newsworthy item. We did nothing but allow him to come on as any radio show that doesn't do the, that was great, now here's another great song from another great band type of show would do. And then number three, Rat Lives Matter. To be very clear with that, that was a goof we joked about before the show in Northfield, Ohio. It was joking segment about protesting and making goofy signs like, I'm the real Milton Berle and no Steven, no peace and shit like that. It was a goof. which is clearly by the fact that there was no real protest organized, scheduled, or anything else. It was silly. Fans of the show being goofy in their own right started the Twitter and the Photoshops, etc. So again, Bobby, we would welcome you to come on and set the record straight. We won't sandbag you in any way. You have our word on that. Us shitting on you does nothing but make us look stupid, and we devalue Jason's words while letting you tell your side of things and make you look like the bigger person. And it makes us look like bigger people for not taking sides, and lets the hardcores that are invested make up their own mind if they are Team Blotzer or Team Jason. And then you tell the particulars of the show when it airs and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway.
So there you go.
Made it very clear. It's just like, you're welcome to come on.
Yeah. But I wasn't going to ask Kiss him either and say, oh, no, dude, what you're doing is right. You're great. You know, I don't agree with the whole rat thing.
Sure.
But I said it in the voice, in the email. I don't agree with any of them doing it.
Sure.
You know, not AC/DC or Rat or Great White or any of them.
Right.
Fucking hate it.
So then you got into a little texting with him.
Yes.
You said, hey, Bobby, it's Chris from the Classic Metal Show.
Hold on 1 second. The reason this went to text was because the emails kept failing.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure that we made contact. You know, he did reach out to us. I thought it was only, I didn't want us to seem like pussies and not respond.
Sure.
So I did.
So you text him, hey, Bobby, it's Chris from the Classic Metal Show. Got your voicemails. Thanks for that. Tried to email back, but they kept bouncing. The door is open for you to address anything Jason said. You won't be sandbagged or ripped on. We have no issue with you. I personally don't like the whole rat with one member thing as a fan, but that's just me. I'm consistent with that with all the bands, that being Foreigner, Foghat, GNR, AC/DC, whatever. I'm happy to discuss that as well. In any event, we are more than happy to give you as much time as we gave Jason if you want to clear the air. Let me know if you want to, and we'll happily clear the schedule, and the show is on at 9 p.m. Eastern, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So he comes back with, thanks for the response. My whole thing with this is extremely unethical and quite slimy person, is putting it lightly, is I'm not giving him any more press. I would tell you guys this, except, I mean, everything he said was provable lies. From the start to finish, I can show text chains of him being completely pro-rat and I being respectful to him on a daily basis. I did make a late night reach out by way of text. That was a mistake, but one can only take so much of lying and betrayal. I have been made knowledgeable about things he's involved with, and I wish I didn't know. Felonious, immoral stuff. I have no idea what that is.
I do, but I won't say.
All right. But Chris, why give a platform to this moronic, pathetic, failed road crew member? Well, again, we don't know that.
We don't know. How would we know that?
We don't know that.
Yeah.
It's so distasteful unless you guys just roll on anyone who will come on and just flat out lie. Talk to Josh Allen, our lead singer, which I did. I saw him in Toledo about a month ago. And I spoke with him for a few minutes, and he, again, I said this last week, but he said he was aware of who I am and what the show is, and he would like to come on.
Okay.
I know he wants to clear the air.
Okay.
Rat, yes, brother, it's Rat. We have almost 46 dates, and we'll do 80 this year. Extremely successful. I'll include pictures in this text, which he did. But these are all pictures of crowds that came to shows that were multiple band shows.
You don't know that. Let's not even throw anything out there.
All right.
Let's just. It doesn't matter. Fine. I'll put it this way. Here's how I'll put it. I don't care how many people come to the shows. We know, you and I both know what they make.
Sure.
and knowing what they make for a gig, I will agree with him that it is successful.
Yeah, I would agree too.
You know, forget the number of fans. If they played in front of one person and still got that paycheck, then they're good.
Yeah.
So I will concede that point, that the project is doing fine.
Okay. Warren is not going to prevail on his crusades. We're quite certain. And Juan, he too is not in a good spot, and he'll see in mediation in court next week. Jason Greenbaum is a failure. That's why he's not working with me. He's lazy and has no touring experience, and he's stolen from my company. Well, he did say that during the call, though. He said that he's not into the whole touring thing and being a tour manager, and he would never do that again, and he's happy being a local guy and just working locally and all that. So he did make that clear.
Yeah, he did.
So you answered, you said, Bobby, fair enough, but we, meaning Neely and I, are not in any position to back up your statements here, much less argue with him on the validity of his statements. I don't doubt that you're doing good business. I also don't doubt that you have put together a quality band that plays well. I've heard from friends that saw you both at Northfield and Toledo. My personal opinion is just that the voice of me and me alone as a fan. I certainly get the business part of it, that you have to make a living. I am a hardcore fan, one that discovered you guys from MTV in 1984 or whenever it was, who has seen the band at least 24 times, owns every single release, and knows every song. I saw you guys on open for Bon Jovi, then later with Cheap Trick, opening at festivals, on the Poison tours, etc. My point, I don't hate Rat. I don't know you personally either. So your thoughts that I have a vendetta with you is skewed. I do have a distaste for what the business is now. That's not your fault as a fan, and knowing that other guys are alive and playing music, it feels cheap to see Rat play those songs without those guys, regardless of their capability or lack thereof to perform at the highest level. To your point on Jason, very fair. If that's your perspective, you do yourself and the 650,000 fans that follow you by letting his words sit without providing your side of things. We are more than happy to allow you the time, or Josh, or both, on the show. We are not the bad guy or the enemy here. We do a talk show about the classic metal. Clearly, this is a topic, and you are at the center of it. And the fans on both sides are clearly interested. The door is wide open for you, Josh, or any other member of your band. You're feel free to pass my number and email on to them and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So anyway, we made it very clear that if Bobby wants to come on the show, we'll give him equal time.
Yeah, door's open.
There's nothing we can do or say that's going to refute what he says or what Jason said, because we don't know. We're not in the camp.
Yep. Even if he does come on, we still won't know.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be able to form an opinion. You know, if he comes on and says, well, this was a lie and that was a lie, and here's what he did and here's what he didn't do, and blah, 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 then we can weigh what Jason said against what he says and form our own opinion. But we're never going to know. We weren't there. We weren't there. So, whatever. I just wanted to make it clear to him that, you know, he could think we got all this hate all he wants, but it's not with Rat. You know, there's no guy he talks with a lot we definitely have hate for, Brett Michaels. But certainly not Bobby.
Right.
So, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's the Rat saga.
There we go.
All right. Well, your audio has deteriorated, so I'm just going to play a tune.
Okay.
And so anyway, we'll see if this goes any further or if this is just going to fade off into the sunset. So I'm going to play a Rat tune, play another song, and we'll come back and we'll get into other stuff. So I thought I'd play some Rat, Shame, shame, shame on you, Chris Aiken, for being such a dick.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's Rat with Shame, Shame, Shame exclusively here.
On your classic metal show.
Hey, what's up? Bobby Blotzer from RATT, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show, baby.
The Classic Metal Show. Classic Metal Show.
It is Anthrax right here on your Classic Metal Show with Monster at the end. And speaking of monsters, they got a monster in the governorship of the state of Maine.
They do.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm not.
Well, Paul LePage, who
We've talked
basically...
about it before, haven't we?
We have.
All right, yeah, I remember the name.
He's the one who gave you, so graciously gave you the moniker of Shifty C.
That's right.
You are Shifty C due to Paul LePage.
That's right.
He's back in the news.
Okay.
This old crotchety guy.
Yeah.
You know, he comes from the era of the 50s where niggers still knew their place.
Hey, Jesus, Neely.
Well, of course, he's been accused of racism.
What?
Yes.
I'm amazed.
Yes. Maine Governor Paul LePage left a hostile voicemail
Okay.
for a state lawmaker Thursday morning, calling him a socialist cocksucker.
Okay.
A cocksucker.
What's wrong with that?
See, this is the problem with you. You don't recognize the wrongdoing here.
No, I really don't.
You
Because
just,
I know that's how real people talk.
you just don't get how hurtful and damaging this can be.
Right, because real people don't talk that way.
No.
Okay.
The Portland Press Herald reports that the governor left an expletive-filled message after a TV reporter said that Representative Drew Gatine, a Democrat in Westbrook, was among several people who accused him of racism.
What?
Mr. Gatine is Governor Paul. Oh, this is the message. Mr. Gatine, this is Governor Paul Richard LePage. I like how he likes to throw his middle name in there.
Right.
I would like to talk to you about your comments about me being a racist, you cocksucker, he said.
I love that.
You would, because you're a hateful, bigot, racist yourself.
I guess so, because I think that's hilarious.
Right. I want to talk to you. I want you to prove that I'm a racist. I've spent my life helping black people. And you little son of a bitch socialist cocksucker. You and I need to let's see. I need you to just friggin', I want you to record this and make it public because I'm after you. Thank you.
Okay, and he did.
You cocksucker.
I have no problem with that message at all. Do you have a problem with that?
No, but people read into that.
What do they read into that? Gay?
Yes.
Of course.
Absolutely. It's a homophobic slur.
All right, whatever.
The accusations of racism stem from the comments LePage made during a town hall in North Brunswick on Wednesday. LePage had said he has had 3 ring binders of photos from drug bust and that most are black and Hispanic people from Waterbury, Connecticut, the Bronx, and Brooklyn.
Okay.
According to LePage, Gatine called him a racist in response to Gatine's denied. Let's see. Yep. In response, Gatine denied this to the local outlets.
Okay.
unapologetic about his statements. Not only did LePage encourage Gatine to record the voicemail, he also invited a journalist from the Press Herald and a TV crew from the local ABC affiliate WMTW to the Blaine House, the official residence of the governor, to conduct a half-hour interview on his motives. He lamented that he could not settle their disputes with a duel. Not only that, I'm going to shoot you, you cocksucker. Just like Aaron Burr.
A duel?
Yeah, a duel.
This guy's serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
When a snot-nosed little guy from Westbrook calls me a racist, now I'd like him to come here because tell you right now, I wish it were 1825, LePage told the local paper.
Hilarious.
And he would have a duel. That's how angry I am.
Wow.
And I would not put my gun in the air, I guarantee you. I would not be like Alexander Hamilton. I would point it right between his eyes because he is a snot-nosed little runt.
I love this guy.
And he has not done a damn thing since he's been in this legislature to help the state move forward.
Nice.
Next thing I want to hear out of his mouth is he's nothing but a fucking faggot. On Friday morning, LePage released the official statement on the controversy, saying that he takes the accusation of racism very seriously.
Apparently, if he wants to shoot the guy for saying it.
He did.
Wow.
I didn't know Drew Gatine from a hole in the wall until yesterday. It made me enormously angry.
Yeah.
When a TV reporter asked me for my reaction about Gatine calling me a racist,
I said, fuck him and his mother.
Right. You know how seriously they take that up there in the Northeast.
That's right.
Don't you dare bring my mother into this. It is the absolute worst, most vile thing you can call a person.
What, racist?
That's what he said.
There's much worse. How about pedophile?
So I called Gatine and used the worst words I could think of. That's the worst. He didn't throw fucker or he didn't.
Jizz bucket.
Cocksucker is the worst.
Cocksucker's a good one. Or a crotchety old guy that thought of sticking a cock is absolutely miserable.
Cocksucker. That's the worst thing that could come up.
You know, this guy sees like a gay couple holding hands, and he immediately gets a gag reflex thinking about this guy taking a load of jizz. You know that's what's going on.
Just to think that cocksucker is the worst one. Cocksucker.
You know, this guy is just vomiting at the fucking gay parade. Gay parade comes to his town. He's just like standing back, throwing up.
He's throwing up in his mouth a little bit.
A little bit of time.
Holy shit.
And he's thinking this still tastes better than what he put in his mouth.
Oh my God. That's hysterical. Cocksucker. Wow. Oh my God. That's just I have to read that. So I called Gatine and used the worst word I could think of.
I don't believe him, do you?
Oh my God. I do. I think
that's
I
the
do.
worst word he could think
well,
of.
Well, you know, again, he's 1950s, man.
Yeah, so probably being a cocksucker is probably bad.
That's pretty bad back in the day. He didn't call him a fucking faggot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would have been pretty bad in today's lexicon.
Yeah, well, cocksucker's not exactly good lexicon.
thinking that this guy is just so he's just so full of rage.
Yeah.
He's just like, what's the worst thing I could call this guy? He goes, I know. Let's throw a racial slur or a homophobic slur at him because nobody wants to be considered gay.
He's just sitting there at his big ass desk grumbling. Fucking cocksucker.
Could you imagine some guy sucking some other guy's cock?
Yeah, cocksucker, give me my phone!
You gotta wonder what goes on in those situations.
You think he hung up his phone and goes, yeah, I told that one.
Yeah, I told that cocksucker.
I got him.
And he sits back with satisfaction on his face.
Pulls out a big old stogie. Doris, get in here and light this up for me.
Shit.
I called that senator a cocksucker.
Right. Let him
Stogies all around.
Yeah, let him top that, I'll tell you.
I need a quick cabinet meeting.
He doesn't know who he's messing with, pal. This story is so fucking ridiculous.
That's who's running our country.
I called him the worst thing I could think of. Some guy sucking under the guy's cock like that would ever happen. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Good shit.
Back in the day when men were men. Holy cow.
And these cocksuckers weren't allowed to live.
That's right. We used to take them out and string them up.
Now we got to let ISIS handle that for us.
LePage apologized to the people of Maine, but said he makes no apologies for
saying that. Sorry I subjected you to this guy being a cocksucker. He is.
LePage apologized to the people of Maine, but said he makes no apologies for trying to quell the drug epidemic that's ravaged the state. He said legislators like Gatine are more interested in being politically correct and protecting drug dealers than dealing with the crisis. Because those people are coming up here and impregnating our white girls and going back to where they came from.
Yeah, damn blacks. The damn darkies are in here, and then you got these cocksuckers in the office.
Fucking smokes come up here selling their drugs. He clarified that when he said he would go after Gatine, he did not mean that he planned to physically harm the lawmaker.
No, that's not what I thought when he said duel, and he wouldn't fucking be a pussy like Alexander Hamilton.
Oh my God.
I didn't think that at all.
I am a history buff, and I referenced how political opponents used to call each other out in the 1820s, including Andrew Jackson, the father of the Democratic Party.
No, you didn't.
LePage continued.
No, you didn't.
Obviously, it is illegal today. Take me back to a time when things were better.
Yeah, like 3 hours ago when I said this shit.
It was simply a metaphor, and I meant no physical harm to Gatine, but I am calling him out on stop giving inflammatory sound bites and get to work to end this crisis that is killing Mainers. Mainers.
Mainers.
Mainers. M-A-I-N-E-R-S. Mainers.
Right, Mainers.
Destroying families and creating drug-addicted babies. Also, the drug dealers Gatine is protecting where they can make the most profit.
Yeah.
Gatine did not immediately return a request for comments from the Yahoo News.
Yeah, those drug dealers can suck my dick.
Right.
But I don't really mean in the literal way.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cocksuckers, but not my cock.
Yeah, not in the literal way.
Oh, my God.
you people are thinking.
Holy shit. That is just the greatest.
And by you people, I mean the darkies.
The darkies.
What kind of fucking mayor is this guy?
He's an old school dude. That's all it boils down to.
But you know what's even more interesting to me? What a great, interesting collection of people that keep voting him in.
Sure.
Who voted for this guy?
Well, the thing is in Maine,
Yeah.
it's 95% white up there.
All right. So they like this guy.
Sure. Believe me, Maine is going to go for Trump.
Oh. It'll be like 6 votes for Hillary.
Right?
You're listening to Jerry Sandusky's favorite radio program, The Classic Metal Show.
Little child, dry your crying eyes. How can I explain the fear you feel inside?
All right. Well, sticking with the darkies.
Jesus. All right.
Jigaboo is back in the news.
What?
The word Jigaboo.
That's in the news?
It's in the news.
Okay.
Remember the newscaster in Cleveland who got in trouble for using the word Jigaboo about a year ago? Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Because she can't hear the words because of all that Jigaboo music in the background. That was the greatest goddamn thing.
I think you might be a touch racist yourself, Neely.
I just love the fact that this milk white blonde girl in Cleveland said right on the air that I can't hear Lady Gaga's lyrics because of all that Jigaboo music playing in the background. But I gotta be honest with you. Even though I've heard the word Jigaboo all the way back in the 70s,
yeah,
I don't think I've used the word in a practical term in my entire life.
Well, exactly what way would you use it as a practical?
Well, but the point is that at some point, somewhere along the way, people actually use that as part of their daily discussion. Look at that Jigaboo. I mean, I don't think you've said that. I mean, I don't know you long enough to know, but I'm going to say that you probably have never uttered the word Jigaboo.
No.
Like in look at that Jigaboo.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like an archaic term.
It's like a Little Rascals era term, isn't it?
More or less. That's what I'm saying. It's very old. So for somebody to use that term today, it just seems so out of place.
Okay.
I mean, who uses the term Jigaboo?
Well, it's apparently this newscaster.
All right. A Texas teacher named her class, now get this.
Oh, no.
The J word.
The J word?
Apparently, Jigaboo is now known as the J word.
I didn't know that.
I wasn't aware of that either.
Can't keep up with all these words. We got the F word, the C word, the N word, now the J word.
The J word.
The J word.
I never heard that one before.
I'm going to start using that.
Her racial slur defense?
Mm-hmm.
Just flat out ignorance.
She didn't know what it meant?
No, apparently not.
Okay.
Just like Hillary Clinton didn't know that little C on her emails meant classified. She thought it meant it was in alphabetical order.
She thought it was from that other mayor, and it was calling her a cocksucker.
Right. What does that little C in the corner mean? Oh, it must be the C in alphabetical order of these emails.
Yeah, that's it.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, she's a fucking lying twat.
Yes, of course she is. The nicknames were meant to create togetherness for the 6th grade classroom at the Bell Manor Elementary School.
Right.
The school in a town between Fort Worth, Texas, and Dallas
Okay.
intended to begin the school year with a trip to Camp Thurman, a day camp with fun in the woods activities.
I can just see this teacher now getting off the bus and saying, "Okay, Jigaboo's over here."
Well, you're pretty close.
Get the fuck out.
You're pretty close.
You kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
All right.
Well, when I read that line, it said fun in the woods activities.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my racist mind is, hey, do you have one in your wood pile?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would be, you have more racism than me.
That's what I said.
Folks.
The nicknames would be used during a team building exercise.
Yeah, they're building a team, all right.
One group of children claimed the name Dream
Nippers?
Team.
What is it?
Dream Team.
Dream Team?
Didn't OJ use that for his group of lawyers that got him off that murder charge, the Dream Team?
It worked.
It did work.
All right, so the Dream Team. Got it.
Another got, drum roll please, Jigaboos.
White kids?
Jigaboos.
Jesus.
And when one student's father found out, he was appalled.
Was he? What was he, Asian?
You put Dream Team and then you have Jigaboos. Really? Really? What's up with that?
I guess there is some sort of polar oppositeness to that.
That's just unacceptable.
All right, I got to say, I'm siding with the dad on this one. It's not often I go against the school, but I might have to side with dad on this one.
Holy shit. The father, who spoke on camera to the TV station but asked not to have his face shown.
Okay.
Because he was a wanted Jigaboo.
What? Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Said he learned of the nickname when he asked his son, like he does every night after school, what he learned that day. He couldn't understand how the teacher, who he told Fox 4 was white, could assign such a derogatory and commonly known racial slur for a black person to a group of children in a school that is a majority minority.
I gotta say, I'm with Dad all the way on this one.
Come here, you little Jigaboos.
I think Mrs. White might have fucked up.
This just reminds me of Randall on Clerks 2. Okay, what are you doing, you little porch monkey?
Holy shit. My God.
Oh, my God. He said, I had to see it for myself. He stopped by the classroom when it was empty. The father told Fox 4 and found evidence of the nickname tacked to the wall on a laminated sheet of white paper. Of course it was white paper. Bordered by green construction paper, classroom mantra, type sign bore the slur, Mrs. So-and-so's Jigaboos are at the school today to achieve her 6th grade goal.
Holy shit. Are you kidding me?
Mrs. Jones's Jigaboos are at school today to achieve our 6th grade goals and prepare for 7th grade.
What the hell?
The sign read, according to a photo that the dad sent Fox 4.
Yeah.
We want to achieve our higher reading skills and score level 3 on the Reading Star test.
Yeah.
We can make this happen by reading more challenging books, working as a team, and always giving 100% while having fun.
Yeah, I'll bet you they got a water fountain there that no one's allowed to drink.
Just throw them some grapes and peanuts and apples.
None of you kids can drink from the fountain. Not a one of you.
Holy shit.
All right, Jigaboo's away from the fountain. Only the Dream Team drinks from that fountain.
Right. Reserved for Dream Team members only.
All right, kids, let's get on the bus. Dream Team in the front, Jigaboo's in the back.
Yeah.
Rosa, you can't sit up here. You're a Jigaboo. Holy smokes.
Martin Luther King Jr. I'm talking to you.
Dream all you want, motherfucker. Getting back.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
My eyes are watering.
Around the sign's borders, it appears that the students scrawled their initials.
Okay.
School administrators conducted an investigation once the slur was brought to their attention, the Telegram reported.
How come the principal didn't see this big-ass fucking poster board on the wall that said Jigaboo?
Jigaboos.
How does the principal not see that?
The teacher took the sign down. The school district spokesman Diane Hollander told the newspaper she was mortified and she cried.
She cried.
She cried.
Stop it.
The district told local media the teacher, who has not been identified, was not aware Jigaboo was a racial slur.
Oh, she never heard that before. What did she think it meant? Happy kids?
Jigaboo.
What did she think it meant?
I don't know. Holy cow, that's funny.
All right, that Jesus picture in the chat room is fucked up. Oh, my God.
Some grape drank.
Oh, my God.
Wow. We would like to extend an apology for the inappropriate actions taken by one of our elementary teachers who failed to vet a class name. Vet it.
You think that was think she tried to get approval even for that name?
Right. A statement from the district said, "We take this situation, Chris,
seriously."
There you go. Perfect. And the issue was immediately addressed with the principal and the classroom teacher. Both the principal and the teacher have
what? Been fired?
No.
Suspended?
No.
Quit?
How do you make people feel better?
Apologized.
Right. To the parent reporting this concern. Fox 4 reported that the parents of the rest of the children in the class were to receive an
apology
as well, but it was unclear whether that had happened yet.
Was each one addressed to Jigaboo number 3, Jigaboo number 4?
All right, Jigaboo, step up here.
Oh, you Jigaboos, get in line.
Right. The students in that class are white, African American, and Latino. State data shows that during the 2014 to 2015 academic school year, the 759 elementary schools were 30% Anglo.
Oh, brother.
23.5% African American, and 26.9% Hispanic.
Right.
The father, who initially reported the transgression, said he was unimpressed with the teacher's response. She needs to come over here and scrub my floors.
Yeah, she needs to go to reparations.me and teach some people how to make soap or something.
Right. Ignorance is not a defense. So are you going to vote for Hillary there, black guy? Because ignorance is not a defense.
You don't know he's black.
Well, he said that was the father was appalled.
Yeah, so
if you're a white guy, I don't think you'd be
or you might be more appalled if your white son was called a jigaboo.
Right, that is true.
You could be more appalled.
It is not a defense.
No.
But it's a defense that has been used before. In 2015, a Fox News anchor in Cleveland was commenting during the morning show about Lady Gaga's performance at the Oscars when she said this. Let's regurgitate this, shall we? It's usually so hard to hear her voice with all that jigaboo music, whatever you call it, in the background. The internet promptly exploded. Is this one of those deals where it broke the internet?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And the next day she issued an
apology.
Right. Because that always makes everything better, right?
Sure does.
I just want to take a moment to address the comment that I made yesterday that got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Capel said, "It's important for me to let you know that I deeply regret my insensitive comment. And I truly did not know the meaning of the word and would never intentionally use such a hurtful language." Hurtful.
Where do you think she works today?
I don't know. Where does she work?
She's unemployed, undoubtedly.
Do we know what happened to her?
No, but I guarantee she's fired.
All right. In the wake of criticism that followed, political analyst Jason Johnson wrote a scathing critique on NBC News. The idea that Christy Chappell had no idea that Jigaboo was a negative reference to black people is a total stretch. She didn't make an insensitive statement. She made a racist statement.
Yeah, pal.
And to believe her story, you'd have believed that a woman with a degree in journalism uses words on television that she doesn't know the definition of.
Yeah. I believe that.
In the same vein, an editor board member of the Dallas Morning News critiqued Bell Manor teacher in a column Thursday, echoing the outrage that the dad had. Her ignorance is not an excuse.
No.
It's mind-boggling that a teacher in racially sensitive 2016 would adopt a term she doesn't know, display it, and have her students recite it.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm left with a lot of questions.
I think she should be murdered.
Sure. She said this situation demonstrates why a diverse staff is important, and that it prompts teachers to be more proactive in learning about the historical backgrounds of their racially diverse student.
All right, that's the dumbest statement so far, but go ahead.
So we need to adopt every tragedy that's happened over the entire history of the universe.
Yeah. Instead of moving past them, and just ignoring them and moving forward, we should isolate on the ills of the past and never let them go.
Right.
That's what that'll fix things.
Sure.
By telling everybody where they fucked up. That's how think about it, dude, in your life. Well, like when you're in charge of people, which you are at your job, when they fuck up, I'm sure you go to them every single day after that fuck up and tell them how they fucked up that day, right? every day, because that helps.
Sure.
That helps. It brings morale, and it helps them move past it.
Sure.
And everything else.
You just keep opening that festering wound and make sure it never heals.
Yeah, and that way they can keep remembering it, and then they can, hate you after a while.
Sure.
So fucking dumb. These are educators, and these educators can't figure that out.
Right.
Fucking retards.
Right. She also offered the background on the origins of the slur. Well, of course she did.
Yeah.
Because we got to understand where we went wrong.
Yeah, of course.
The slur is rooted in slavery. Of course it is.
So?
It was used as a derogatory term for a black person deemed too dark-skinned, hair too kinky, and therefore somehow thought as a less attractive, just undesirably, period, when someone born with lighter skin and straight hair.
How many slaves did you own?
None.
So then why would you give a fuck where the word Jigaboo came from?
Right.
The company Peterbilt? Do you know that company?
Yeah. Truck manufacturer.
Where's that name come from?
I don't know the answer.
What the fuck, dude? You used to work in the trucking industry.
I did.
And you don't know where the Peterbilt is?
Nope.
How can that possibly? You should have to study. You should need to know this.
Before I would be allowed to drive that truck, I should know the origins of it.
Mm-hmm. Who makes your battery?
Sure.
Who made that transmission you just put in your car? Do you know?
I'm going to say I don't know.
You don't know?
Nope.
You drove it?
Yep.
How dare you?
Sure.
How dare you drive a new transmission when you don't know who made it?
Sure.
Its origin. What country was it made in? This is the dumbest fucking argument of all time.
I agree.
Fucking idiots. Go ahead.
On the internet, some people have found themselves confusing the derogatory term with the 1999 Destiny's Child single Bugaboo.
Bugaboo?
Bugaboo. So they're thinking that Destiny's Child is singing Jigaboo?
Yes.
But it's actually Bugaboo?
Yeah, well, Beyonce wouldn't sing anything anti-black.
Right.
Unless it's a black cop.
In the song, a bugaboo is one who can surmise a boyfriend who is bothersome.
Okay.
Perhaps the teacher had just been listening to too much Beyonce.
Or watching too much American History X.
I just love the fact that a teacher put up jigaboos. All right, come on, my little jigaboos.
Jesus Christ. Where were the other teachers to say, what'd you just call your kids?
It's like, really?
Yeah, all right, where was the teacher that was in charge of the dream team?
I don't know the answer to that either.
Yeah. You got those two classes competing in whatever the fuck they're competing against. She goes, yeah, Jigaboo's over here. What? Yeah, where's the teacher to say?
All right, where's all my jigaboos? Everybody over here.
Hey, what'd you just call them? Did you just say what I think you just said? Wow. Unfucking believable.
So I thought I'd save that for the last story of the night.
That's something.
That is hysterical.
Wow. And I think we got 2 segments that are going to do like 9 gazillion listens this week.
Yeah. Jigaboos.
Jigaboos.
What a name. I had a friend Patrick out in California.
Okay.
And we were sitting at the bar one night. We were just kind of sitting there. And he got a cocktail. I think I still even have it somewhere. But he got a cocktail napkin. And he drew a picture. He drew a picture of a martini glass.
Yeah.
Tilted on its side.
Okay.
And then little bubbles kind of like floating out of it.
Okay.
And he made it into like the sign outside of a bar.
Okay.
And it said Jigaboos.
Jigaboos.
Jigg-A-B. Booze. Jigaboos.
Jigaboos.
What's the name of the bar? Jigaboos.
Jigaboo's Bar. Know who goes there?
Jigaboos.
Jigaboo's Bar. I doubt they're drinking martinis there, though.
Yeah.
Maybe some Old E, but not no martinis.
So funny. Just racist.
What a segment.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Loved it.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that's going to end the show. It was a good one.
That's enough. I pulled a muscle in my ribs.
I don't know which one I enjoyed the better, the Paul LePage cocksucker or the Jigaboo's Texas teacher.
We did good tonight.
Which one did you like the most?
Oh, the Jigaboos, by far.
Oh, you didn't like the Paul LePage?
Paul LePage was good, too.
The whole cocksucker thing is, I called him the worst name I could think of.
Between those two, Jan Keeneman and Black Olives Matter, we fucking home run this shit.
Oh, my God.
We did well tonight.
And, of course, Leather with her making comments about how hot some other chick was in tight jeans.
Yeah, wanting to fucking put the pistol in her pussy or whatever.
Right.
Wow, the pink pistol in the pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a show.
It was. All right.
Maybe I should only do the show every other week.
Right.
Come back and we're a lot funnier.
All right. Well, we want to thank our new friend, Rick Camulia,
thanks, Rick.
of Paisano's restaurant in New Mexico.
Think Rick will play our Jigaboo segment over loudspeakers at Paisano?
I don't think that's the case, but I think Rick likes us.
Yeah. Think he'll listen to it at his house?
Probably.
Think so. Yeah.
I think so. But Rick was a good sport. He's made national news this summer with the whole Black Olives Matter thing. And I'm looking forward to getting my Black Olives Matter t-shirt.
That's funny.
That should be good. So thank you, Rick, for being part of the show. I want to thank our good friend Leather Leone for being part of the show and just being a firecracker.
And she was wound up tonight.
She was wound up tonight, so she's always fun to talk to and listen to and all her commentary.
Right.
I like how she told me to fuck you because of Kate French. That was hysterical.
Yeah. Apparently they don't like each other, huh?
Well, you know.
Hey, Kate doesn't like us either, so whatever.
That's true. It's okay. And then, of course, all you people who've listened to the show tonight and been part of the chat room and all that good stuff. And we're going to be back next Saturday. We will do it all over again, but it's been a fun show tonight. Thanks for everybody who tuned in and participated in the chat room and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah. So enjoy your Labor Day holiday weekend.
Yes.
Do some cookouts or something on Monday or whatever it is you do.
Yep.
And we'll get things rolling in the month of September.
Sounds good.
All right. Got a departing tune?
How about from Love Hate's Living Off Layla?
I know you were listening to some Love Hate this week.
I was, but I did not get to this album.
Didn't Mark Toreen?
He did. He sang some of the songs.
Sing some of the songs and finish out the record when Jizzy left?
Yeah, Jizzy does half and Mark Toreen does half.
Right.
But
okay.
I want to hear the Jizzy song.
Okay.
And it's appropriate for this show since it went so well. Wish I Had More Time.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back. I guess AOR Rocks is gonna rock you through your Sunday morning with some tunage and requests and blah blah blah. And so stick around for him. And we're gonna get out of here. So we'll leave you with some Love Hate with Wish I Had More Time. So until next Saturday night, this is Neely along with my very good friend
Chris Hagan,
and we are gone.
Uhuru.
See you later.
All right, this is Jizzy Pearl of almost every band you ever heard. And you're listening to my good friend Neely Wheelie Slip on a Banana Peely and the Classic Metal Show, baby.
Classic Metal Show. Classic Metal Show.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Wes.
Hey, Wes, what's up?
Hey, I messaged you guys on Facebook earlier this week. My wife and I were on the Def Leppard cruise, and I had wanted to give you some insight into how horrible of an experience it was.
All right. Well, I'm glad you called and you're willing to speak. Now, do we have to put a black cloak over your face, or, do I need to use like a harmonizer on your voice so people don't recognize your voice or anything like that?
No, because I am not going to be part of the Def Leppard apology crowd along with Eddie Trunk and everybody else applauding them for a horrible event that came off as horrible as it sounds.
All right. Well, let me get into interview mode here, since you're willing to speak and you voluntarily dialed that phone. How much did you pay for this cruise?
Well, hold on. Before you even go to that,
okay.
How much did you pay for it, and why did you decide to go? Are you a huge Def Leppard fan? Were you trying to get some puss off your wife? What?
Well, I'm always trying to get that. So, but she is a huge Def Leppard fan, and
300-pounder?
No, not huge like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I understood. Go ahead.
Are you a Def Leppard fan?
I am a fan of Def Leppard pre-1989.
All right.
After
Hysteria back.
Yeah, Hysteria back.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, but she's the big Def Leppard fan. But back to the first question, we paid for the event before when it was a VIP event altogether. Before drinks and airfare, we paid right around $4,500.
All right. Now, you got a southern accent. Where are you from?
Louisiana.
All right. Louisiana is not a very wealthy state, so this must have taken you at least 6 years of paychecks to afford $4,500.
Give or take.
Okay, I thought I was about right. So $4,500, then you had airfare and drinks on top of that?
Correct.
All right, so we're talking about a $6,000 range here now, right?
Definitely.
So did you have to kill your grandmother for the inheritance?
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay. So you got to this cruise. Now, were you excited to go?
Very much so.
Okay. Were you excited because you were thinking you were going to get some puss? Or were you excited because you were thinking, you know what, I'm going to get away from the rubber factory in Louisiana or the oil rig or wherever the hell you work, and I'm going to be able to relax, have some drinks, listen to some tunes, and maybe grab my wife's ass for the first time in years?
Correct on all the last bit of that, yes. This is
right.
like a biography.
All right. Well, I like this. I like this kind of interaction here. So you get to the port, and you're getting on the ship. Now, when you check in, did you like the accommodations, the room, and everything?
The room was about what I expected. Nothing. This was the first time we had been on a cruise, but I knew that it was going to be small rooms and a shower that was about the size of a bathroom on an airplane.
Okay.
So who was the cruise provider? Was it Royal Caribbean? Was it Carnival? Who was it?
It was a cruise line called MSC, and I'm not even sure what that is an anagram for, but suck must be the S part of it because it was awful.
All right. So you get on this cruise, it sets sail. What happens?
Well, we set sail, and they have some events that night at the pool, and it's fine because it's just really windy, no big deal. The first night goes off pretty well just because everybody's excited, and the first night was pretty smooth. But
Were there
Friday
bands playing the first night?
Yeah, there was a band out of Nashville called the Rock and Roll Residency that did a lot of covers of 70s rock, which, in all honesty, was by far the highlight of the cruise. Other than the pre-party seeing Last in Line, that was really good. But they saved that cruise for what you could say it was saved for.
So a cover band was the best band out of the cruise.
They were the biggest surprise and most enjoyable because they played with us with a rock and roll energy of excitement and not what I dealt with Saturday night for sure.
So dude, what you're telling me is that you went on a cruise to be hobnobbing with a worldwide known band, i.e. Def Leppard, and anybody else who played this thing, but yet a cover band you could see at your local bar was the highlight.
Unfortunately, yes.
Holy shit.
And you paid $6,000 for this.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wow. All right. So what was the setup for Def Leppard? I mean, did they actually play at all, or they didn't play at all because of Joe Elliott's voice?
Well, let me just kind of set up Friday.
All right, please do.
The Friday event was supposed to be a Q&A with Def Leppard along with a short acoustic set. And when we got to the theater, Eddie Trunk came out and introduced Joe Elliott, and they rehashed a 30-minute interview that he had already done with Eddie Trunk a couple of weeks ago, and he had already prefaced that by saying he was having throat problems. So it was like watching YouTube happening right in front of my face.
So they couldn't get any other guy from the band. It had to be Joe, even though he was having throat problems.
That's the same fucking thing I was thinking.
Right. So did anybody raise their hand and say, Joe, what was it like working with Mutt Lange?
They did not ask that question. They did ask a few. They had a contest online where you could actually get in line and ask him a question.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's pretty honky, I know.
What was the average age of the people that went on this cruise?
Late 40s.
How many of the wives would be welcome to a buffet?
At least 69%.
69%.
Yeah.
I like how you grab that number out of the air. 69%.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pork on the hoof.
Very much so. Very much so.
So if you were going there looking to troll, it's probably not going to happen. Is that what you're saying?
They were putting a lot of sugar on things, but it was mostly at breakfast.
Nice. Well, let me ask you, is it Wes with a W or L with a Les with an L?
With a W.
With a W.
Okay, Wes. How long have you been listening to the Classic Metal Show?
I discovered you guys end of 2014, actually.
Okay. Excellent. Now, did you get to actually speak to the great Eddie Trunk? Did you get to say hello or shake his hand or get an interview or a picture or anything like that?
I did not. He just checked my wife out one night when we walked by.
Is your wife hot?
She was ready for some sugar to be poured on her, but she just got a bunch of bullshit.
So Eddie checked your wife out?
He gave her the eyes.
Yeah, he looked her up and down.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he wanted her to stump his trunk.
Boy, you are a fan.
I like him.
I do too.
All right. So So you did this horrendous interview. What happened after that?
Well, then they slowly brought everyone else on stage, and that's when they actually did the Q&A part.
Now, who is everyone else? From Def Leppard or other musicians?
No, from the band with Def Leppard.
Okay.
And that they wrapped that up, and then they did their 3-song acoustic set, which included a David Bowie cover.
And Joe sang?
He did.
Ugh. All right.
Was he raspy?
Right.
Was he raspy, or did he sound like Joe Elliott?
He seemed to sound like Joe Elliott, but he definitely looked miserable.
Okay. All right. Well, then what happened?
They basically, this is just something I want to interject into this. From the Q&A, when I watched them, it looked like Vivian Campbell was just, to me, the guys looked very bored with that. And when I saw Vivian perform Sunday and Wednesday night, I thought he killed it. I just got a weird feeling from watching all this that there's something not right there. But that just is something I'll interject.
Okay, fair enough. Now, at what point on this cruise did you think to yourself, I can't wait till next Saturday because I'm going to call the Classic Metal Show?
Oh, shit. Probably sometime Friday when we went for our VIP meet and greet.
With who?
And with Def Leppard.
Oh, okay, so you got to meet the band.
We were supposed to meet the
Oh, boy.
That's why we paid an extra $1,500.
Holy shit!
To meet the band, and we were sitting in they had a part of the ship where they were having this, and it was blocked off for us, and Eddie Trunk came in and made his, hey guys, how you doing tonight? Everybody excited? Bullshit he said every day through Sunday when everybody was ready to cut each other's heads off, and said, guys, Joe's not going to be here tonight. He's going to rest his voice, but the other 4 guys are here. And he said, give them their space. They're going to kind of walk around and, just let's make this real casual.
Okay.
We never even saw them because they were gone within 20 minutes because obviously the fans, these rabid 40-plus-year-old women, scared the 4 of them, and they retreated into their yacht quarters.
For $1,500, you didn't even get to shake their hand.
I was beyond pissed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume you didn't get any that night.
I don't think it was that night.
See, I didn't think so. All right.
But, yeah, so after that shit show ended, we went and watched Rock and Roll Residency again and watched some other shows and just continued to question what the fuck we were doing there and what the fuck was going to happen on Saturday.
Holy shit. Now there's I don't know what kind of a contract that they make you sign or, agreement that you have when you sign on for these cruises, but dude, I think I'd be suing to get my money back.
I'm trying to look into that since I was able to get home. I've looked into that as much as I can, and I'm not getting very far, but I'm going to see what I can do.
Right.
All right.
The biggest problem of this is these Def Leppard fans are excusing this. It's like they don't give a shit that they wasted thousands of dollars. The shit should have been canceled before we even got on the cruise. He knew he was sick. They canceled the show tonight. They're probably going to cancel this tour leg. They have insurance. It's just a real slap in the face.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I mean, poorly executed. The whole cruise was supposed to be a Def Leppard cruise, and then they split it in half. So I'm on a cruise with a bunch of fucking kids and all this other nonsense when I'm just there for, I thought I was going to be there for a cool rock cruise.
Right.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So what started out as being the Def Leppard cruise was just a cruise that Def Leppard happened to be on?
Well, it was sold to us when I purchased this cruise in September. It was sold as a Def Leppard cruise.
Okay.
In November, after I paid full price, they had a Black Friday sale where they sold the shit for half price.
Oh, my God.
Which I questioned and basically was told, well, that's kind of how sales go, and that's not how sales go. That's how bullshit goes. But that's not how, like, a real company does things.
Right.
So, anyway, that's how it turned into that. And then sometime in December, it was known that the cruise was going to be split in half, and they were selling the cabins that we spent $1,400 a piece on. That's not including the VIP, for like $500 to this people that wanted to get on there and wonder what the fuck is going on with all these other people.
Right. So to use a industry term, they papered the cruise.
They papered the cruise because their ticket sales were softer than Eddie Trunk's fucking conscience for not sticking up and saying this is a bunch of bullshit.
Wow.
Because he prides himself on calling it how it is, saying, well, I think this and I think that. This is my music. I'm the Dan Rather of rock and roll. Stand up and shout, motherfucker. Tell him this is bullshit.
Boy, you are a CMS fan.
Oh, big time. Big
Oh,
time.
love it.
I listen to this shit every fucking day.
Right. What part of Louisiana are you from?
In the Monroe area, northeast part.
All right. Right along I-20.
There you go.
Yep.
No one cares. Let's keep focus here. So
okay, sorry.
Up through Friday is horrendous. Did you have any thoughts going into Saturday that something good was going to happen?
Well, we had been told on our itinerary that changed numerous times on this trip, like a treasure map. That we
how did they inform you of this?
Well, we got a normal itinerary, and then we would get updates throughout the day when you were walking through the cruise, and then they would hand you pieces of paper because whoever was in charge was booking the shit on the fly because the weather was so bad, and they couldn't get the bands to play inside because I guess they had a fucking magic show for the rest of the fucking cruise.
A magic show?
Whatever the hell they do. But they did have a Michael Jackson impersonator on Sunday night. I know that.
Wow.
Wow, that fits the Def Leppard. Well, I guess that was for the other people?
That was correct.
Oh, boy. Wow.
But anyway, Saturday, we were supposed to be docked on a private island and have concerts there at 8 a.m., I was awoken by the captain speaking, telling us that due to the weather, the waves, we would not be docking the boat. So at that point, once again, whoever is the horse's head of this cruise, which may be no one, goes into panic mode to figure out how they're going to accommodate these people that can't get off the boat.
God damn, dude.
This is so funny. It's depressing.
It's sad. It's funny for us because we're not out $6,000. I feel for you, dude.
It's amazing to me that the people that are on this cruise are excusing this. I mean, if you go on these message boards, all you read about is, they did the best they could.
Oh, shut up. Enough with that.
Nothing of my experience was the best they could. It was nothing but reaction and scramble mode.
Dude, let me just ask you, and you don't have to give me an exact answer, but Do you make more or less than $50,000 a year between you and your wife?
Between my wife and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we make more.
You make more than 100?
Yeah.
All right. So this wasn't like saving up every penny.
Yeah,
for a
this
year.
wasn't like taking a mortgage out on the house.
No, but
It's expensive.
It was expensive, and it was like kind of a Christmas thing, and all wrapped into one for.
Right. No, I'm not trying to shit on it that way. I'm just trying to get perspective if it's 2 months of salary to get there, and it sounds like it's not. So it's a little better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that we're eating ramen noodles and tuna fish.
Right.
But it's pretty fucking sucky regardless.
Right.
I agree.
I agree.
All right. So now you're not getting off the boat. How pissed are you?
I'm ready to throw somebody off the motherfucker. Because all the events now, we're having to scramble for us to do something. There are large amounts of downtime. Obviously, I would have rather have went on the Monsters Barak cruise that's happening in a couple of weeks because you're stacked with bands on a music-only cruise. So, like I said, there were times where we didn't have anything to do for 4 hours other than go to that shitty buffet and just sit around and wait for to see some entertainment.
So they didn't even offer you shuffleboard sticks?
I'm sure they thought they would have a mutiny if they did.
So there were no other bands other than this cover band and Def Leppard on the cruise?
No, I mean, Kip Winger was on the cruise, Richie Kotzen was on the cruise, Kix was on the cruise, Tom Kiefer, obviously last in line. But the problem with all of this is the way they had the band stacked. The later in the night when people were playing, they were like playing against each other. So instead of you doing something from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, there's like 2 people playing at 8 o'clock, 2 people playing at 9, and leading up to that, there's 4 hours of nothing.
Wow.
So just it was horribly organized.
Right.
Wow.
So you kind of had to make your choice when people were playing which one you were going to go see.
Correct. Yes.
Ugh. This sounds terrible.
So, anyway, I know what you guys want to get to the really shitty part of it.
Yeah, well, let's go. I'm
the shitty part yet?
I'm enjoying this. Go ahead.
Well, this is my Def Leppard storytellers, I guess, since I didn't get a real one on the cruise, which is much of everything else I was promised. At 10:45, they were supposed to play, so everyone piles into this theater. When we walk in, we're stopped, and they say, everyone that's VIP, after the show, stay seated because there's going to be something special for you.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know what that's going to be, Russian roulette, whatever. We get our seats, and Joe Elliott walks out and says, I've got good news and bad news, and says, I'm not going to be able to perform tonight, but we're going to have some help from other guys, and we're going to give you free tickets to another Def Leppard show in the future. Exactly.
Thanks.
Thanks. I'll spend more money traveling to come see you. So, at that point, he introduces the band, and they perform with a few other guys, and they are doing okay.
Well, who were the other guys? Who were they from?
Andrew from Last in Line performed. He did Let It Go. Kip Winger and Eric Martin did Photograph. But like I was paying attention to it, and they all of a sudden played Sugar, and I thought, damn, they're playing this early in the set. And the next song, that was it. Lights up, show's over. 45 minutes and 7 songs.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at that meme Nathan threw in the chat room.
That's brutal.
Oh, my God. Too soon?
No, it's right on time.
So, okay. So 45 minutes with various singers jumping in. They turn the lights on and everybody leaves except the VIP, and they just want to hand you tickets or like a voucher or something?
No, they didn't even do that.
Let me back up just a second. After the show ends, before they let everybody leave that's not VIPs, they auction off 4 autographed banners that is going to go to some charity called Children of the Night. That is for youth trafficking.
All right.
Exactly. Why the fuck does this have they not gotten enough money out of us at this point? So I guess, I don't know who their head of security is, but he gets on the mic and just starts berating the crowd that we're here to save some children. These could be your children. And it's like, this is the weirdest, like, David Koresh pro wrestler crazy promo.
So they're trying to guilt you into, bidding?
I guess. I don't have any kids, so I didn't feel guilty, but I thought the coolest thing, it was called Children of the Night. I mean, that was pretty metal, but
yeah,
anyway,
I think that was something that Dio started.
Yeah, that's Dio's charity.
Yeah.
So, but it was like $4,000 they sold these banners a piece.
Wow.
I don't know. They, different prices, but about $15,000. So anyway, they get through that nonsense, QVC. They get everybody out, and then they go, hey, guys, we know Def Leppard weren't able to meet everybody last night, so you're going to be able to get to take your picture with the band, and we're going to get everybody up here. Well, it's like midnight. It's 12:15 in the morning. Nobody knows this is happening. It's great we're going to get to meet them. But while they're doing this and everybody is doing the cattle call, get up there and take your picture, their head of security comes to us and says, you're not going to be able to shake everybody's hand. Don't stand and talk. We need to get you in and get you out. And I'm God. You got to be fucking kidding me. So we got our picture at 1 a.m. and got out.
Was Joe part of that?
Joe was part of that, and he looked like he was waiting on an enema. He looked so miserable in that fucking picture.
Can you send me the picture? Do you have the picture?
I can, and I may. I'm not sure. It depends if...
Send me the picture. I'll black you out. I just want to see Joe's expression.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll black you and your wife out so that people can't tell it's you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it to you then.
All right.
So anyway, that kind of wraps up where you just kind of walk out, and this whole situation is totally... You realize at this point you've got one more day left. Nothing that you have paid for has been worth what you paid for.
Right.
Not that meeting someone for that much money is worth it, but it's an experience that, if you have the money, I know you guys have talked at length about meet and greets and being in the business and would you pay this for a concert, would you pay this for a concert, and I totally understand all that. But, it was something, first cruise, first time to do it, but it was just a sickening feeling because I knew it was a horrible thing. And this was before we knew anything about the passing of Jimmy. I mean, I had no idea about that until the following day when we went to the theater to see Last in Line play.
So how did it feel being on a cruise knowing there's a dead guy on board?
Well, at that point, you're kind of you're almost thinking, I'm not surprised. I'm more surprised no one has been murdered rather than just dying of natural causes because they're so fucking upset and mad. But like I said, the feedback is everybody's going, "Get well soon, Joe."
Holy shit!
It's just it's ridiculous.
All right, well, let me ask you this, dude, because I've done the cruise thing. Neely, you have not done the cruise
I have not done the cruise thing, no.
All right. Well, I know when I did the cruise thing, when everybody's getting off the boat, everybody's kind of talking with each other because you make, friendships or acquaintances or whatever on the boat, and everybody's talking about what they did and what they saw, and, it's generally a fairly festive, okay, this has been fun, we'll see you later. What was the mood of people when you docked and you got off the boat?
Like we were trying to escape.
It's like, thank God this is over.
Correct.
Wow.
Check, please. Wow. And part of the problem with that, too, what you're saying about meeting people, half the crews we didn't talk to because half the crews didn't want to do anything with music. But the fans that I talked to, which were at least 20 to 30 different people, were extremely disappointed, extremely pissed. The fact that that's not getting out online and it's being covered up is, I don't know, doesn't make any sense.
So, do you think there'll be a Def Leppard cruise too?
I would be hesitant to believe that they would make that same mistake twice. I don't see them doing it.
Wow.
But if they do, I will not be partaking in it, even if it's free.
What if they gave you half off?
They would have to give me half back from the first time. Because it was an absolute rape scandal. I feel like I have been in a rape van for 72 hours.
So what was this deal where because Jimmy passed away, they came out and did sort of like a little tribute show thing? Did you attend that?
Yeah, that's where they announced in the theater that he had passed away, and they came on stage and talked about Jimmy and how they all met, writing about the new album, and that was good. If anybody is going to be critical of what I'm saying, I'm not being critical of Last in Line. I thought they did an incredible job. They handled it with class. They definitely handled the death of a bandmate with a level of professionalism Def Leppard can't sniff their jock, because Def Leppard came off like fucking amateurs.
Wow.
Dude, I got to tell you, for you are probably one of my most favorite callers ever. you got a lot of sense of humor. You got a lot of just a lot of silliness about you. A lot of comparisons there. So good stuff.
I gotta say, I feel really bad for you.
I do. I feel bad for this guy.
$6,000 and you just got reamed in the asshole. Holy cow.
Absolutely. And I haven't heard dick from Def Leppard or MSC on what they're going to make better.
So Def Leppard the Def Leppard management hasn't even reached out to you and said, hey, this is our summer tour routing, what's closest to you so we can get you your free ticket?
Zero.
Oh, my God.
I guess they're trying to figure out what side project they want to promote rather than take care of the fucking business that they can't handle.
This guy's pissed.
I love. Well, Wes, you got to do us this favor. If you get contacted by Def Leppard, no matter what they do, you got to call us back and let us know what they offered you.
Deal.
All right.
Excellent. All right, Wes. Well, I appreciate you being a fan of the show, and I appreciate you giving us such a detailed account of what went on there. I mean, that was awesome.
Well, I am thankful that there's an avenue to actually tell the truth rather than the fucking tales that are being spun about this.
Right.
It was miserable. And anyone that says they're glad they went should cut their fucking arm off and beat themselves to death with.
Or donated to Rick Allen.
Now, I'm not going to go there.
That would be mean.
Although they did spend 2 different occasions trying to sell his $5,000 art.
What?
Yeah, they had an art gallery on there 2 different times that you could go to.
And you could buy Rick Allen's art?
Yes, and it was fucking expensive.
Yeah, well, he did both right-handed and left-handed with one hand.
Right.
He's ambidextrous. I think that's the...
No, you can't be ambidextrous with one hand.
Well, maybe a foot.
I can do this art with one arm tied behind my back.
Hey, one more thing before I get off, because I know you guys have more stuff
stuck
to
in my
talk about. The VIP package gave us a bag of goodies, and it was basically $10 worth of shit from Spencer's on sale. Junk.
Nothing
all
bag.
crap.
Wait a minute. What was in the bag?
A fucking plaque.
A plaque?
A little bitty plaque, yeah. Like, I want to hang that on my wall.
Well, what does it say? I survived the Def Leppard group.
It said Hysteria on the High Seas, and the fucking date on the thing, I guess they messed it up because the 6 for 2016 is smaller than the 2, the 0, and the 1. So I don't know if they fucked it up, put 15 on it. Morons.
All right, so what else is in the bag?
Oh, it was like it looks like a giant guitar pick, but it's not like a pick. It's soft, so I don't know if it's like a coaster or it's just honky shit. What the fuck? They thought that was, it sucked. I could have bought better shit at a skating rink.
Or out of a claw machine.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Wow. Dude, you told a great story tonight.
Fantastic.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Well, I think you deserve a song. What can I play for you, my friend?
How about It's So Easy?
It's So Easy?
Because I'm ready
GNR?
for somebody to please me. Yes. I sure don't want anybody to play any fucking Def Leppard making promises they can't keep.
So good. Dude, you got a lot of great one-liners. I think Tim James could take a tip from you.
Yeah, no shit.
That Tim James ain't in my league. I've been waiting for this call. I just needed the right reason to call you guys.
There you go.
So, anyway, fuck you, pal, hand job, and Def Leppard can eat my asshole.
Right. Hail and kill.
Later. Hail and kill, motherfucker.
That's a guy who just needed to get it out of his system.
I like Wes. Wes hit me up on the Facebook during the week, and I told him, yeah, you can call.
Oh,
no
wow.
idea that was coming.
Holy shit.
Boy, did he get fucked hard.
He did.
Man, I feel really bad.
He told a good story, though.
Yeah, but so what? It cost him $6,000 to craft it.
But, man, he did it well, though.
He sure did. But I wish for Wes's sake he didn't have it to tell.
Yeah.
Would have been nicer if Wes called in and said, you know what? You guys fucking rag on Def Leppard all the time, but they fucking kicked ass.
Yeah.
They did a great thing. Instead, we got exactly what we would expect.
And that's a story you'll never hear on Eddie Trunk Show.
Oh, no.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
Eddie said on his podcast this week, it was a great time other than Jimmy Bain passing and fucking...
Yeah, fuck you. We got the actual eyewitness.
Yeah, so, you know what? Play a couple of songs, and I'll try and grab the Trunk podcast, and we can play what his take was against it.
All right, well...
Want that?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Wes wanted to hear It's So Easy from some GNR, so let's play it for Wes. So here... Oh, wait a minute. We got a phone call here. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, guys. This is Norge.
Hey, Norge, what's up?
I'm just here in tears with so much fucking laughter. I'm just in total shock. My wife is sleeping and I'm just cracking up. She's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" I was like, "If you only knew." I'm in total fucking shock. He couldn't tell. He told the story just fucking perfect.
He did. He was awesome.
I'm in total fucking shock. This, like, truly, like what Steve in the chat room said, they really left this guy high and dry. This is really fucked up. This is really, really, really fucked up. I feel so bad.
I do.
I remember when Tim James called and said he'd spend $4,000 on Motley Crue, I thought that was fucking stupid. When I heard this, I was just like, at the end, I'm like, this is fucking hysterical, but I feel so bad for the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is total bullshit, dude.
Well,
they really not just him, but they raped basically a bunch of fucking people.
They did. And I'm glad the CMS was his platform to get it out there.
Just a way to start the night. This is fucking gold. This is fucking fantastic. God, Jesus. Fuck, I love the CMS. This is fucking fantastic, man. This is probably better than beating on a nigger. This is great.
What the hell?
Jesus, for $6,000 you get enough to Louisiana, about 10 niggers. This is fucking fantastic. I couldn't believe this. You got a senior that fucking loses his voice. You got a guy who fucking dies on the fucking boat. Jesus Christ, this is fucking crazy. Oh, God, this is fucking great. Oh, my God, I'm truly blessed. This is fucking fantastic. You would think during the auction, they would have auctioned off Jimmy Bain's body.
Oh, my God.
You was the last in line. What do you expect?
Holy shit.
Oh, this is fucking great. Oh, God, man, I love my life. This is fucking great. I'm telling you, its ass has to be hurting because this guy totally got fucked. The last thing you needed was the bunch of niggers that take over the cruise ship.
Jeez, what the hell?
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I gotta get off because I swear I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. This is great. Oh, my God. I wish they would have auctioned off Rick Allen's other arm and just called it a day. Hysteria in the high seas. Oh, Jesus, this is great. Oh, God. Oh, hail, kill, fuck you, pal, hand job, and fuck Def Leopard. Fuck them. You see, fucked West. They fucked West.
Oh, my God. That's the name of the segment. Def Leopard fucked Wes.
Oh my God!
Holy shit!
Did he really say they should have auctioned off Jimmy Bain's body?
He said he should have auctioned off Jimmy Bain's body. And then auctioned off Rick Allen's other arm and called it a day.
Wow!
Holy cow!
Yeah, you won't hear that on other stations. That's for damn sure.
Not at all.
Jesus Christ!
Could you imagine if we actually had sponsors?
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Yeah, we'd be getting the phone call tomorrow. What the fuck are you guys thinking?
It would be something like, after further review of your show,
we've decided that your content is not conducive to our corporate sponsorship.
It's really hard for us to be associating Adam and Eve with what you guys are doing.
Right.
Fucking idiots.
I agree.
God damn it.
Oh, God, that was good.
Wow, I'm choking to death after that fucking heck.
All right. Let's get in some GNR from Appetite for Destruction for Wes.
Give me like 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah, that's fine. It's so
wow.
All right. It's so easy exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Bombadita, 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 bombadita,
until
bombadita,
we meet again.
bombadita,
Happy trails to you.
bombadita, bombadita,
Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet
What is it that makes you like us? Is it our atmosphere? Is it the music we play? Is it our girls? Is it our DJs? Or is it our lousy beer? Whatever it is, the management would like to thank you for your custom and wish you all a safe journey home tonight and hope to see you all again soon.
The DJ has now left the building.
Thanks for listening to the Classic Metal Show. Check out replays of the Classic Metal Show throughout the week at www.cmsradionetwork.com or on any of our fine affiliates. Tune in next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Classic Metal Show live with Neely and Chris.
This is the way it is.
Ta-ta, cats.